Fuck. YouTube. Fuck. What are you doing? Dipping down to the. Fuck.
This little guy is Max S, king of Spain. He doesn't only use 30% or less of his credit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
they were like killing each other, like underage guys. Hey, you have a problem with this family, whatever. Yeah, the violence sucked and everything else like that. But it isn't like now. Now it's worse because you're like, well, the '70s was the worst decade by the way for crime, but I think New York City has gotten worse as it's become more and more of a multi. Bro, mass immigration in itself just creates a lot of problems.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I think, and New York City is like a beautiful personification of that.
Yeah, but
That
it's
mass
I don't
immigration
know.
creates problems.
People say that and then they go visit New York.
So like so like us having this majority of guests is actually created a lot of problems. Because now everyone's like,
Okay, so
learn the English language, like assimilate to the culture,
to the guests,
respect the
should
culture.
the American guest, like, who should be deported from America?
People that are here illegally, yeah, people that are here illegally. Yeah.
Okay. And what about the people in Dearborn playing, Vietnam? Should they be deported?
If they're here illegally, yeah. If they're here illegally, yeah. But my thing is, like, I don't think it's fair to the other residents of Dearborn to play the den multiple times a day just because you enjoy a slight majority. It's only like 50, 60% Muslim majority there. And, well, excuse me, let me rephrase. 50, 60% Arabs and people from North Africa, which you can assume 90% of them are going to be Muslim. So you can assume that it's a slight majority. I don't think it's fair to over 40% in the United States that they have to deal with listening to the den 5 times a day.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, just to go back to
because I truly don't think America is a Muslim country, and we don't have the numbers to even
but it's
represent.
also not a Christian. It's not a Christian country.
Get the fuck out of here.
And we could disagree to disagree there.
But it's not in the Constitution. You don't have to say it to become a citizen.
I don't think it has to
declare it. There's freedom of religion and stuff like that. So if you're actually going to talk about what it means to be an American, if you look at the amendments and you look at the rights that we have, it has nothing to do with being a Christian.
Again, just because it's not in the Constitution, so to speak, right? Or maybe even the Bill of Rights, whatever.
Or any of the
and they probably did that on purpose.
paperwork.
And they probably did that on purpose, right?
To not declare it as a Christian, as a single religion's country. Well, that's the whole reason they did that. I'm going to follow what the founding fathers said.
Yeah, but here's the thing. America does have an identity, whether people want to accept it or not. And this is where we can have the disagreement.
What's the identity?
Why are you
identity as a majority white country? That's a Christian nation. That is the American identity, unfortunately. And I'll give you an example of this. If you go to Japan or China or whatever, and you envision an American, what are they going to envision, right? At least now. They're going to envision, or at least historically, before the mass immigration, a Caucasian individual eating a hamburger that's fat. That's what they think of American. Hillbilly, whatever the fuck it may be.
Okay,
that's what people think of. And that is the identity of America. That's what it is.
Fat hillbilly. But not
I'm saying the stereotype. That's not the stereotype. But like they would envision a Caucasian American with an American accent, whatever. Like if you're trying to have the American what's the word I want to use here? Like emblem, right? Like if you went to a country, you say you need someone to like be able to identify something, right, off without saying a word. What would you use? You would use a white person with some jorts, a cowboy hat, right? Maybe an American flag. And be like, okay, what is this person? An American, right? That's what they would think, right? Versus if they gave me and you, it would be harder for them because they would be like, I don't know. We maybe have to speak English. These are the things they'd have to like figure out. They'd have to figure out that we're American. But if you're saying if your life depended on it, right? Let's say you played a game, right? And your life depended on it, and you needed the person to guess what you're trying to convey, or else you die. And what you needed to convey was an American. What would you draw? You would draw a white individual with some fucking overalls, cowboy hat, a fucking piece of wheat in their teeth, right? Maybe chewing some tobacco, maybe a little overweight, eating a hamburger, right? And an American flag. Because if your life depended on it, that's what you would use. You would not use me. You would not use you. You would not use the Muslims. Even though these people can all be Americans. But there is a stereotypical image of what an American is. Now, let's be honest. That is changing because of mass immigration or whatever. But the reality is, when you think of an American, someone that hasn't been here before, that's what comes to mind. Country music, overalls, cowboy boots,
and any cowboy hat that should not be allowed in this asserting dominance.
I didn't say that it shouldn't be allowed. I said that I think
you said that they shouldn't be able to pray in public.
I think praying in public and disrupting others while praying in public.
No one was disrupted. No one was disrupted.
Bro, you're disrupting. You admit it. 20 minutes disruption. I think it's still a problem.
Disrupting what? What does that mean? What does that mean?
People want to go to Times Square, bro.
They were Times Square wasn't closed. I agree that you shouldn't be able to like shut down streets.
Yeah.
If like whenever you want.
Just so you know, my haters, that's what they're arguing with. It's like we should be able to shut down streets and do what we want to do.
But that's not what we did. You said that's what
Not you, but like
no, but you said that's people in Times Square. That's not what happened. The street was still open.
Okay,
there's been the people that were gathered that. Okay, but it's just.
And here's the thing too. They've definitely shut down areas in other places, whether in the UK, playing that multiple times a day, playing it in Minneapolis, playing it in Dearborn, etc. This is all disruptive to other people that aren't Muslim. And I know you're saying, oh, it wasn't a big deal. We prayed in public. Like, it was 20 minutes, not a big deal, whatever. I still think that is disrespectful and rude because we know in a Muslim country, a bunch of Christians wouldn't be able to gather.
But you could do what you want in public like that. Like, I remember in 2011,
you would not be able to
go.
I want to get 50 Christians and have them quickly gather and
they don't really pray like that.
And pray.
Christians don't.
And pray in a symbolic, in a Muslim country, in a symbolic area.
You said they would get beheaded if they did that.
I was exaggerating, but there would be problems. The police would show up and be like, "Get the fuck out of here."
If they were praying.
If Christians showed up, this is okay. If Christians showed up, let's say 50 Christians,
yeah.
Right? What is the Times Square equivalent in?
Also, you said if they did that in Mecca, then they would be beheaded.
Exactly.
That was ridiculous comparison.
Times Square and Mecca is not the same. I mean, obviously being hyperbolic and exaggerating, but let's go ahead and give a functional equivalent.
Okay, Dubai. Actually, that's not even. I would say the closest example in the Middle East. Yeah, Times Square is like Dubai Mall.
No, that's not as symbolic.
Times Square.
Let's say
commercial area in New York City.
Yeah, I'm trying to think in the Middle East. Where would it?
Dubai Mall.
Dubai Mall.
What's even close?
I take food out of my Bosch refrigerator. I feel like
I and place it all in. Please share it with. It's life. Party. Joy. Will you share it with? If we took an area that let's say maybe the Burj Khalifa or some shit in Dubai, UAE, right? I could
that's not a commercial area. It's one building. It's one building.
It's all skyscraper. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is
okay. 50 Christians pray outside the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah, if they prayed outside the Burj Khalifa out loud with speakers and shit like that,
no one cares.
I think the police would tell them, "What do you guys do?" They would definitely be like, "What are y'all doing?"
They say praying,
and they'd be like, "Yeah, y'all got to go to a church." Like there would be. They would not be able to do it as freely as you guys did in Times Square. They would not be. There would like you guys are actually.
Would that be a faith thing, or because the UAE is heavily policed in New York?
Like, well, that goes to my precise point that it's a Muslim country and they're not standing for that. Versus if you decided to pray, they wouldn't bother you.
If 50 Christians were standing there just praying like this,
there would be they had loudspeakers and all this other shit, bro. There'd be a problem in the UAE. There'd absolutely be a problem. Versus and they had loudspeakers and they did what
so your argument is that the U.S. should be more like the UAE.
No, I'm saying that what I'm saying is that level of tolerance is not acceptable in Muslim countries, and it's unfair for
they don't have freedom of speech the same way we do. Like America is based off of free speech. That's why they can do that.
Yeah.
It's not really a faith thing. It's just a principle thing.
Well, again, like I said before, that would not be tolerated in a Muslim country, right? It would not be tolerated in a Muslim country, and we respect that
because they have different rules. They don't have like the freedom of speech doctrine the same way we do.
And what I'm saying is, since they don't have that there, we can't come here and expect, oh yeah, well we want to go and
here.
You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about like the Muslims that come here that want to do what they want.
Most people that came to Times Square,
or even Muslims that are American.
I was like, most of the people there were all born in America.
Of course. But what I'm saying is that like that would not be allowed in another Muslim country. So I look at it like it's fair. Like if you can't do that, if Christians can't go to a Muslim country and openly pray the same way that Muslims do in the United States, I think it just shows respect to not openly do it here. We're guests.
There's more Christians.
Now, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. That's very important too. Just because you could doesn't mean you should.
Pray in public?
Yeah, just because you could, I don't think you should, especially as a guest. Because you can go to your friend's house, right, and kind of not put your shoes on, ask for extra food.
Yeah, I know, but
they're not going to want to have you back.
But it's not my friend's house in my country.
You see, that's
You know,
that's
It's my
that
country, man.
that's that entitlement.
It's
Why
your
niggas
country
hate
too.
Muslims, bro. This is why people don't like Muslims, bro.
Because I was born here.
No, because they have this mindset of like, oh well,
I'm not a guest, but you think if people hate me because I don't think like I'm a guest in my own country, then they can hate me.
But the faith is the religion. You are a guest when you practice the religion. You are
It
practicing.
it makes me a guest to practice a different religion.
No. You're practicing a religion that is not the moral fabric of this country, and you're doing it. Especially here's the other thing: you're doing it openly when you have access to do it privately. That's rude and disrespectful to the host nation. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. And that's the problem that a lot of these Muslim guys don't get. Like
Praying is rude.
No, publicly and disrupting others, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And also asserting dominance.
And this is why so many people
Praying is the most submissive thing you could do.
and this is why people don't like Muslims because they have this mindset of we're gonna pray what we want, we're gonna do what we want to do, and y'all can't do nothing because it's a free country. Just because it's a free country,
that's not why people hate Muslims.
Doesn't mean this is a big reason why they know that.
People hate Muslims. I think you actually. I think you fell for the recent propaganda. Like so, right now, people are getting paid $7K to push Israeli propaganda. I think it's. I think that's part of it. Is making people.
Oh yeah, they're gonna make them hate Muslims.
Making people hate Muslims. People, you should. Man.
And bro, and this is why I'm saying these things.
No,
I'm saying these things
Ryan,
because I don't want because I know that they're gonna push.
No.
I know they're gonna push it.
People hate Muslims because of 15, 20, 30 years of propaganda. Because of framing 9/11 and blaming all Arabs for 9/11. They hate Muslims 100%. Because of Israeli propaganda.
100%.
Not because of people praying, not because I prayed in Times Square.
No.
The hatred of Muslims has nothing to do
Here's the thing.
Dearborn is 100,000 people. It's a small city.
Yep.
Like the reason you're saying it's because some people prayed in public when it's really due to the strongest propaganda machine of all time.
Absolutely. So I love that you said that. I understand as someone that worked in national security, that worked in terrorism, etc. Right? I understand this to a deep degree that other people don't. The disdain for Muslims, I agree with you. It came from the war on terror. It came from 9/11. It came from the propaganda and the lies that Israeli neocons push, saying Muslims are the enemy, Muslims are the enemy, Muslims are the enemy. I agree with you on that. What I'm saying is, we already have a bad rap, unfortunately, in the West. Praying in public and disrupting people doesn't help our cause. Because I know how much they hate us, and I know that the Jews have been pushing this bullshit. I understand it. That's what I'm saying. We already have a bad rap here. Why are we going to go ahead?
They have a misunderstanding about us. A lot of people think it's just crazy. So the misunderstanding from the average American, they think Allahu Akbar is a call for terrorism. That really means that it's the greatest.
Yeah.
So when people in Times Square, I can tell you from experience being there, when they say like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "Oh, we're praying because it's Ramadan." They're like, "Oh, it's cool." When they learn what it actually is, it's like it changes their mind about it. Because a lot of people have this idea that it's a violent, oppressive, terrible religion, and they see like, oh, actually, we're not asserting dominance, but doing the most submissive act, praying to God, putting your head on the floor. They're like, oh wow, wait, this is, and they hear the Quran like, oh, this is kind of peaceful. I kind of like it. It changes their perception. It actually is dawah. Everything else going on in Times Square is chaos, is drug deals, it's just stupid stuff everywhere. Yeah. So these people, what do you guys do? They look over. I talk to people afterwards like, this is a time where we're fasting and prayer is actually important right now. So we all got together to pray. And they're like, oh, it's kind of cool.
Fair. Now, I see your perspective, but this is New York City where people are liberal, they're more open-minded, they want to learn. Fair. But you got to understand that most of America isn't like that. Unfortunately.
That's why I think they use up for the propaganda. Because people use that on social media. I think these are 7K posts trying to and they put a caption like, look at them taking over Times Square. It's like, no, we didn't take over Times Square. We didn't disrupt anyone. This is the section where we just prayed.
Here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. I know that the propaganda is out there. So me and you have a different way to deal with it. I'm saying the propaganda is out there. Let's not make it worse. You're saying the propaganda is out there. Let's change their mind. I'm saying they're not changing their mind.
They are, though.
Like, we both agree.
They are changing their mind.
Let's see where we agree. Here's the common ground. We both agree that Jews pushed out anti-Muslim propaganda for the past 30 years. We agree. 100%. I agree.
And a lot of Christians. Many Christians are this way.
I agree. They push out that we're violent. They push out that we're fucking heathens, that we're, brutes. We don't understand
And now we're guessing our own
bullshit. I agree with you that they've been pushing out this propaganda has been led by fucking neocon Jews. Agreed. Now, your response to that is, let's get them to understand our religion, and let's we pray. Hopefully they'll be open-minded and they'll want to learn. Cool. Some people will. My argument is I think most people won't, and I think given the propaganda that's been pushed in America for so goddamn long, that these fucking gay ass Jews have been pushing, saying Islam is bad, these guys are jihadists, they want to kill everybody, etc.
It's not just Jews saying that.
It's a lot of stupid Christians that evangelical Christians believe it as well. You're right. They've been pushing it. This is what a lot of Americans think. So when we openly pray, when we do these things, what do they assume? They assume that we're trying to assert dominance and we're trying to take the country over. And then you have other Muslims saying, we're going to spread Islam all across the place with this propaganda. Again, it's propaganda. I agree with you, it's propaganda. My argument to this push by the Jews now, propaganda, is we need to be measured and understand that we need to operate in a way where people don't understand the religion and most people don't care to understand the religion. You're operating from a position of, yo, they want to understand, they should understand. That's the good way. Bro, if people wanted to understand the religion,
but I'm not going to play into the rage bait. Like, I'm not going to let that win.
I'm saying most Americans don't care and they don't want to understand.
I don't find that to be true. I think that this is an echo chamber on Twitter. I think that this is due to propaganda posts, and most normal people don't think the way that you see on the a small minority online.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's a silent majority of people that do not like Islam, and they don't trust Muslims. They look at us like we're wild and we're gonna take over. And but shit. And I think that us praying outside exacerbates the problem. There's other ways to go about it.
Like, changing the narrative is not, being more submissive and like acting more like a guest and abiding by the lies and operating around that. It's showing the truth and being comfortable who you are.
I think it's operating on the reality of where we stand as a nation, where people.
Cowering is not the way to change it.
It's not about cowering. It's about understanding.
I can only pray in private because I don't want people who hate me to hate me more.
See, you're going extreme.
That's what you said.
It's about private.
You said you should pray in private so that people who hate me don't hate me more.
Pray. Go to the mosque. Pray at your house.
Privately.
Yeah.
So you're saying pray privately so people hate me don't hate me more,
bro. We have a bad reputation. Do you think exacerbating the problem and praying out in public and blocking off streets and doing all that shit is the way to go? I don't think so. I think that makes people hate us even more.
Operating in fear because of lies is not the way.
It's not about operating in fear. It's about operating.
Let's go take some turns. A common phrase at a university at the foot of some of the best snow-covered mountains in the world. Another common phrase on the University of Utah campus.
Son stuffed mom in a wooden box and burned her body. Let's do this fucking.
He said his mother was.
I can be attracted to a 16-year-old if I want. And I am. And I'm going to marry a 16-year-old. I have a deal worked out with a guy. He has a daughter who's 14 right now. And when she turns 16, I'm going to marry. We're business partners. I have a whole thing worked out with him. But basically, I'm going to marry his daughter when she turns 16. I'm friends with her now.
What? The rise of racist content creators. Video by Antonio Speaks. Okay, man. Yeah, this is the new meta, man. The new grift is being white and racist outside. No shame.
Content creation. In 2025, it's one of the most lucrative and sought after career fields, and I can see why. You can be a gamer, a lifestyle influencer, a streamer, or better yet, a white supremacist Instagrammer.
Look at how easy that was. Picking cotton did not build America. And if we knew how annoying you guys were going to be, we would have just used Irish slaves.
Why are you talking to black people?
Fuck, Nick.
You know, it's so crazy. This guy's a white supremacist content creator, but yet he's speaking as if he's speaking to black people. Isn't that weird? Making content for white people, but speaking to black people. That's how we know he's just a racist pandering to racists who like the idea of a white guy saying this to a black guy, right? Very cringe. Also, look at his shirt. 5'7" high value alpha male. Yeah, this is the kind of guy who watches black trans porn. Something gives me that vibe. Look at him. You know this guy is not slaying any bad white bitches, bro. Come on, man.
And if we knew how annoying you guys were going to be, we would have just used Irish slaves.
I was debating making this video because on one hand, I was like, should I ban these people for attention. But on the other hand, I think it's important that we shine a spotlight on this type of ideology. One of the main reasons the mustache man back in Germany was so successful was because people caught on when it was too late. Now, these dudes aren't nowhere near what mustache man was, but you get the point. Now, the first content creator we're going to be discussing is Woman Propaganda. He has over 1 million followers, and in his description, he says, 5'7", high-value alpha male, debunking the internet's most viral feminist propaganda. So as we can see, he's
Bro, how can you be a guy and you follow a page like that? How can you be a dude following a page where a guy in his bio is like, alpha male? It's like, dude, if you got to tell people you're obviously not it. You know what I'm saying?
It all basically being misogynistic. But that wasn't really getting him enough.
That's like putting in your bio, like, confident man. It's like, guy, tell me you're insecure without telling me you're insecure.
So I'm going to let him explain how he mainly garnered most of his fans.
I went viral saying a few times. Do you think with the A should be controversial to say? No. I don't think you should really get in trouble for saying any word, but the A for sure. Black people say it all the time with the A, and it's fine. So I think it's a totally different vibe. Said it on camera with the hard R. I'll probably do it eventually.
The obsession with black people has to be studied. Now, as far as him saying the N-word,
like, what is that even? White people, most white people in America do not interact with black people, bro. That's the reality of it. Yeah, maybe your fucking Amazon delivery guy is black. But if you go to church, you're a white person, more than likely, 95% of your church is white. You feel me? Like, you go to work. If you work in blue-collar America, I mean, more than likely, you're actually going to be around Mexicans. I mean, it depends what state you're in, sure. But these people are acting as if black people are like a prominent part of their everyday life, and it's just not. And so it's like, why are you so fixated about talking to and about black people? It's weird.
2025. I just don't care anymore. But the thing about it is, 13-year-old Connor who lives in Idaho thinks it's so funny. And let me tell you something about Connor. He's never had an interaction with a black person. And the only type of reference that he has to black people is what he see online. So when Connor comes across this white man saying the N-word, it's so funny to him. And you know what? He's going to tell his friends and he's going to drop a follow. And that's the thing about these dudes. Their fan base is mainly young kids or other incel white dudes.
I don't know about you, but I would not want to go on a cruise that looked like this.
It smells like cocoa butter, fried chicken. There's probably some watermelon somewhere.
Probably smells like weed.
Definitely smells like weed.
Again, statistically, black and white people use weed at about the same rate with a deviation of 1 to 2% every year. That's a reality. It hovers somewhere around 12 to 14%. That's a fact. But only black people get hit with the label of potheads. It's crazy. When in both scenarios, neither population is there even a significant minority of users, right? 14%, that's less than a quarter.
Everybody's walking around with a Bluetooth speaker.
And notice how the fat women, all the black women are fat.
Yeah.
Notice that?
No shame.
No shame at all. The average black woman's 187 pounds in America.
And they want reparations. You need to lose weight. You need less.
They need less.
Eat less.
White people got reparations after slavery ended. White slave owners got reparations.
If we're giving you food stamps, it's got to be spent on like white rice or something.
The majority of food stamp recipients are white people.
And vegetables.
And vegetables.
So they don't do that or go to the gym. Black women don't go to the gym either.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want a break from black people, just go to the gym.
Yeah. What was wrong about
it? Shut the fuck.
Yeah, and these people are acting like if you don't go to the middle of this country, bro.
They're on vacation. People work nonstop 24/7. So when they want to enjoy themselves, let them enjoy themselves. And that's the thing about it. Whenever non-black people see black people having fun, it bothers them. And I will always say this. If it isn't the white people's way of doing things, it's automatically being bad. And Myron, bro, you're just a disgrace, dog. Nothing that you say.
Myron is not black. He is not. He's Sudanese. He is from North Africa. Black in the context of American and Caribbean history means being descendants of people from Central and West Africa. Okay, we're talking the Congo, Ghana, Nigeria, Guinea, that area. That right there, that's us. He is not black, bro. Black, you have to remember, black is, and white, these are categories that were invented in the context of American or Western slavery to justify the ongoing perpetual enslavement of a group of people. And so they embrace this idea that if you are Caucasian, well, then you cannot be a servant. You cannot be a slave. And then the black people, well, they were the ones who became the perpetual slaves. So that's how shit played out in this book. So Myron isn't black. It's impossible for him to be black. Modern culture likes to call everyone from Africa black. But if you are not from West Central Africa, you're not black, bro. That's just the fact. That's just how it goes. You're African, bro. Myron can call himself African, but black is reserved for the peoples who got transported to the Caribbean and the Americas. That's who black people are. Everybody else on the continent of Africa, they're African. So Myron is not black.
To make you a white man. And if they ever make the country how they really want it, you won't be a part of it.
What's your go-to type of guy? What are you looking for?
Hopefully black. Very muscly, like above 6
Oh,
foot.
look at him. Look at him. He's freaking out because they would look at a dude like this and think he's a fucking cornball.
But then he dark skin.
Look at that.
Those are some like BBC lovers, right?
I mean, I guess you could say that.
You're doing this, dummy. When you act the way you act, you're the definition of a square. You're the definition of a lane. They're going to go for the opposite of you. They're going to go for us. That's crazy. You're causing this to happen. Will you resist persists? Will you chase escapes? Come on, man.
All the dudes are ugly, and then she says she's into black dudes. Black dudes are the ugliest dudes.
So that explains it all. That's why he's racist. He had his girl taken by a black man.
He accidentally clicked on a porn video once and actually saw what it looks like when a black dude, you know what I'm saying? When he break it down. Made him feel very insecure. Made him feel very, you know what I'm saying, insufficient.
He say this, all my black brothers, I do not advise playing in the snow. White tears are real. And
No, definitely. I would highly recommend you not. You do not go in the snow, bro.
Notice that a lot of these racist white men, they hate seeing a white woman with a black man. And they all have this sentiment of the white population is getting replaced. Like, bro.
Dunkin' refreshers. 3 delicious flavors, only at Dunkin'.
Wherever you book, first check Kayak to find great deals and filter out flights you maybe don't want, like layovers. Then do what people do. Recheck sites Kayak already checked. Think about makeovers, leftovers, pullovers, hangovers, do-overs. Oh yeah, layovers. Back to Kayak for a great deal on your flight.
For your small business, no detail is too small. We know this because we're the Hartford, with experience ensuring millions of small businesses.
Make up y'all mind. Are y'all the superior race or are y'all the victim? Like, which is it, bro?
If you're a grown man, a girl turning 18 should not be attractive to you. Depends on what state you live in. I live in South Carolina.
Yeah.
The age of consent here is 16.
Yeah, of course he's a fucking weirdo that wants to fuck 16-year-old girls. Right. Guys, this is them. This is the Nick Fuenteses of the world. This is what the fuck is this? They're so weird, bro.
So I can be attracted to a 16-year-old if I want. And I am. And I'm going to marry a 16-year-old. I have a deal worked out with a guy. He has a daughter who's 14 right now. And when she turns 16, I'm going to marry. We're business partners. I have a whole thing worked out with him. But basically, I'm going to marry his daughter when she turns 16. I'm friends with her now.
What? Myron, this is who Myron be hanging out with, bro. That fucking North African. He's not black. Okay?
We text. I send her memes and stuff.
Yeah, y'all think he's joking. Check his computer. The racist to child PDF pipeline is real. If you didn't know already, white men make up 29% of the U.S. population, but are accounted for over 77% of the people caught with child. You know what? Now that's it for this clown. We're gonna move on from him. The next content creator we have is Hermes did it again. He has over 200,000 followers, and in his bio it says, "Seeker of truth, modern day patriot, unbiased journalist." So this guy, I've had him on my channel a few times now, but he goes around just asking some of the most racist and false statistics that you can find.
Why do you think if you eat watermelon and drink grape Kool-Aid, you're more likely to somebody?
I don't think that's a true statistic.
It's true. Let's say there was 100 pandas in like a jungle, and 13 of those pandas were causing 60% of the issues in that jungle. What should we do with those 13 pandas? Do you think black people should pay for their bill before receiving dinner or after? Would you rather have a black son or an autistic daughter?
Wait, what? What?
A black son or autistic daughter? If black people hate America so much and they feel oppressed, should we just send them all back to Africa? Do you think black people should be born in prison and then released for good behavior?
That's a loaded question. Give you a riddle. I'm loud and obnoxious. I like music that rhymes. I'm the least of the population, but I commit half of this crime. Who am I?
What's your favorite animal?
Monkeys.
Do you think black people should be born in prison and then released for good behavior?
So let's go through the facts. First and foremost, what is it, bro? 1350 or 1360? This shit changes every other day. But what is wrong? What they're referring to is the 2019 FBI stats. Yes, black people statistically make up 13% of the U.S. population. But they are accounted for 50% of the arrests. Arrests, you guys, not convictions. Now, here's the kicker, y'all. Black people make up 50%. 50% of all people exonerated of crimes. And if you don't know what exonerated stands for, it means not guilty. According to the same source that he used, the 2019 FBI stat, white people commit 69.6% of all crimes, 67.6% of rapes, 62% of aggravated assault, 68% of burglaries, and 72% of all sex crimes. And all the sources will be down below.
People don't talk about all the great things white people have accomplished. 97% of inventions were made by Europeans. And there's actually a website when they say like the traffic light or peanut butter was invented by black people. There's like a website that like fact checks these black inventions, and you look deeper into it, and usually they're all from white people that they might have added something or it was like completely stolen. So why are we not talking about that?
Right. Black people are have gotten away with stealing the credit of the inventions of white people. When white people control history in this country.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it right now, but
here's the reality. This guy couldn't invent shit. That's the point. This is so cringe. This is so stupid. Like, even if it was true, what can you do? What was your SAT score, buddy? What was your ACT score? You're a fucking moron. You're a meathead. You got rocks for brains. So all that European DNA doesn't seem to be counting for much, nor does it seem to be counting for much for 99% of your population. 99% of your people are just regular. Like everybody else. Most people are just regular. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't even invent peanut butter, so I don't think they've invented anything, actually.
The only thing that white people don't want to take credit for is racism. The thing about these guys is they want to ignore facts when it puts them in negative light. And once again, are y'all the superior race or are y'all victims? Make up your mind.
You care if your children look like you?
Yeah.
So would you ever have children with someone outside of your race?
Yeah.
You see the contradiction there?
No, they still look like me in some ways.
Right.
Just not all of them.
Would they look more like you if you had children with a person of the same race or different?
I mean, maybe.
Does that matter?
I mean, I guess a little.
So would you ever consider that option? Should they be promoted?
I don't really care. They would just do what they want.
Bro, like, what's the big deal, man?
You think this chick thinks that he's cool? That he's a player? With every subsequent sentence that comes out of this guy's mouth, women think that he's lamer and lamer and lamer.
The last time people tried this, these abominations came out of that. Like, come on, bruh. And you know the crazy thing about it, y'all. All these dudes have to do is find them a white woman, procreate with her, and boom, you got what you wanted. Just do what you want. Now, this final content creator, I also featured him in one of my videos. Shield dude. He has over 60,000 followers, and his entire content just revolves around him saying the N-word.
The same way I'm gonna chew this gum is the same way I chew about.
Look at his neck. Of course. Of course. Look at his neck, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Look at this dog. Oh my God. Oh, wow.
6 or 7 pieces of Dubai chocolate. This doesn't come with a Labubu, but it comes with grapefruit, prickly pear, cayenne, and sea salt. Well. Today we got some Diet Coke. I mean some Diet Coke. I mean Coke. Today we got some Diet Coke. It's got aspartame. It's got no sugar. Very wet like jizz. This shit's about to make me blow a load. And today we got some seaweed. I'm gonna toss your mom's salad. Today we got a salad with onions. The person who said
This guy, I feel like we should just let him have it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when the slow kid, just let him have it. Leave him in the corner. You know, say plain.
this wants you to know that you are there. I know you fat ass diabetic want this cookie. This shit is a chocolate cookie with chocolate chips, but not chocolate chips. They're M&Ms, which is still chocolate.
I gotta say, they're appealing to one audience, and that's like little edgy white kids, bro. Ha, so funny. But yeah, man, that's it for this video, dog. This video could be extremely long.
Yeah, man. That last guy. Look, man. At the end of the day, we have nothing to worry about when it comes to racism. What do I mean by that? It is inevitable that things will only continue to get better for us because progressivism is the law of the universe. What do I mean? Just go back in time. What society, what group of people have become more conservative over time? It never happens. Never happens. All around the world, women have only gotten more rights. People have only become more tolerant of people who live alternative lifestyles or don't fall into, all the normal categories when it comes to sexuality and all that. People are becoming more accepting of people of other groups, living amongst them, working with them, even marrying them or marrying into their family. The world is just becoming more and more progressive, bro. They got women driving in Saudi Arabia now. I think the fact that we are now seeing this kind of resurgence of weirdo, incel, autistic, white supremacist kind of guys and people are into that shit is actually pretty good evidence that we are getting to the end, right? We're coming closer, very close to the end. Probably is not going to be in our lifetime, probably not even our children's, but a few generations from now, bro, I am certain that the world is going to look incredibly different in a positive way from how it looks today. Well, you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Till next time, peace out.
Finding new adventures, and extra confidence, and extra miles.
I'm just gonna assume that she
Like, she acting like she's starting to get horny, bro. That's how she's at.
I'm just gonna assume that she
Like, she acting like she's starting to get horny, bro. That's how she's at. Why are women putting this on the internet? That's another thing. They don't know how weird it is. They don't see how weird it is. This shit weird as fuck, bro.
Y'all see how much love you love mommy? Baby right there, y'all.
The Weird Boy Mom Epidemic. Video by 4D Sham. Shout out to that boy 4D. Shams, we haven't reacted to that guy in a little while. Let's check this out.
Talk about me. Okay. So what you gonna do if your partner say, damn, your mama fine? Okay.
What? Do you hear what this woman just asked her son, who doesn't look a day over 7? This little man don't look a day over 7. She asking him, what you gonna do if someone asks you or says to you, damn, your mama fine? Nah. What's going on with this one, my boy?
That's what you gonna do?
And look what he does. Look what he does. Oh my goodness.
Talk about me.
Bro,
So what you gonna do if your partner say, damn, your mama fine? Okay.
Bro, surely he say, I'm a bust that. This is weird, bro. This is, you see, I've spoken about this in the past. How we see this strange thing happening sometimes with single mothers when they kind of turn their sons into a type of pseudo husband, and to see it already taking place at such a young age is quite disturbing. He's also teaching him to be okay with violence. That's weird, man. Not just any kind of violence, too. Gun violence. Strange behavior. Yeah. Strange behavior.
I'm sorry, but I'm failing to understand what exactly was going on. Because that whole clip just seems so wrong on so many levels. First of all, why are you even thinking about that? Why are you thinking about whether or not your son seems to be a preschooler is gonna have friends that are gonna find you attractive, and try to flirt with you and call you cute? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like you're less concerned and more excited. It seems like this is a fantasy that you want to play out. You want to be this hot mom whose son's young friends find attractive and flirt with. And mind you, she's having this conversation with like a preschool kid. The kid isn't even near puberty. He's nowhere near the age when boys and girls actually start to develop romantic.
She's training him to be a YN. Let's just keep it a 1,000.
Or sexual feelings towards the other gender. So if anything, you're really planting the seed in his head. And then on top of that, when your son shoots the gun, which even that is wrong on so many levels, you're all jolly and jumping, thinking it's cute. Am I wrong for thinking that this seems a little bit predatory? And why are you happy over the thought of your son shooting someone? To the point where you're actually giggling and jumping
That
around.
is not,
You know,
that's not good, man. That ain't
heard
good.
stories about these moms who have these weird obsessions with their sons. You know, they're super close to their sons, but in a way that's really weird. I've seen the topic touched on online. I've seen skits like these.
Always be the first woman in his life. She's just his little girlfriend.
Yeah, she's his girlfriend. I don't think she's trying to take your spot.
Even if she tried, she could never. Joshy loves his mommy. He'll always love me more than he loves her.
And just judging from the comments, it seems like this is a pretty common occurrence because there's a bunch of people resonating with this video. Cannot stand boy moms. Boy mom drives me insane. These boy moms give us normal boy moms a bad rep. I hate it here. And of course, that last video was like a satire skit, but there are people who are actually getting online and addressing this topic.
If you got one of them fucking mothers that want to be your bitch, and the signs is there, don't fucking play with me. I could tell when a mother want to her something. She might not say it. She might not want to, but it's giving all of that you want to be with your son.
Yo. Oh my god, it'd be so weird. Can I send this to her? Wow, that every word. I think every word. Girl, you play too much.
It's real, man. It's real. Now, actually, you know what I'm saying? Engaging in the sexual relations, that's crazy. I don't know how often that shit is happening, the incestual, but I've definitely seen it, man, where a single mother turns her son into her husband, bro. It's weird, gang.
This guru. It seems like there's quite a bit of painful experiences in these comments. But speaking of painful experiences by being you get company offered just $350 subscription.
And you stop clear there.
Right from your phone or computer. You can just click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen with your phone camera to get started today.
There are really some moms out here that are in love with their sons, bro. Not love their sons, not like a regular mom. In love, like junior year, I'm going to this Chinese spot by my school. I'm in the line. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give me some more chicken. This shit lit. It's this couple, or what I think is a couple, in front of me. Then he got his arms around the girl's waist. She reaching back like this, all grabbing on his neck. It was an awkward ass position. I kind of look. I'm like, damn, you look a little older. But he both look like my age. I'm like 16, 17 at the time.
I'm like, hey, the Nikolai Cougars. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh,
Right. Do your thing.
They talking about, I'm kind of listening to that conversation. They like, some grades or whatever report card. And I hear her say, you gotta get your grades up, Jeremiah. He's like, okay, all right, chill. I'm like, damn, she must really like them young. She's like, oh, son, can you go to the car and get my phone? I gotta call grandma. I'm like, what?
This whole conversation sounds fake. I'll be real with you. But come on, we have seen it. We have seen this shit. I think this little nigga lying right here, but he's articulating something that I have seen in real life, which is an abnormally close, somewhat sexual relationship between a boy and his mother. And I ain't gonna lie, 9 out of 10 times, it's a single mother or a woman. Now, I'm not saying that to demonize single mothers. There's nothing wrong with being a single mother. Sometimes your relationships don't work out. You feel me? And you gotta see you're still a mother. So now you're a single mother. When a new man doesn't step into the picture, for whatever reason, the son turns into her husband. And it's weird. I'm not a psychologist, so I couldn't even attempt to explain to you why it happens for real. But I've seen it. Strange.
I'm like, I know I just hear that shit. I know.
And the crazy thing is, you hear these type of stories and you think he might be lying or maybe just made up for views, but it's not. There's literally videos of this all over the net. And mind you, the videos I'm about to show you now are the tame ones. The videos later on in this video will have you just
Bruh.
you might throw up. Me knowing my son's fine as fuck. I mean, usually.
Why are people putting this on the internet?
The word to use would be handsome. Never had a man be this obsessed with me. I don't know if
he's not a man. He's a toddler. He's a baby. Bruh. I don't know why I did all that yapping, bro, because bro just giving you example after example, bro. Oh boy, I'm talking about.
The man she's referring to is her son, or whatever man she's been in a relationship.
Never had a man.
Why are you comparing something like that to something so innocent? That's just weird. When my son starts looking like his dad, biting your lips. I'm just gonna assume that she
might. She acting like she's starting to get horny, bro. That's how she's at. Why are women putting this on the internet? That's another thing. They don't know how weird it is. They don't see how weird it is. This shit weird as fuck, bro.
Have some resentment towards his dad, so the fact that he looks like him is kind of displeasing her.
Y'all see how much love you love mommy? Baby right there, y'all.
Bruh. Nah, man. Nah, bro. That's weird, bro.
But when I find out he got a girlfriend, no more kisses.
Bro, he hitting, bro. He's smacking. That's what that. Bro, it's clapping, bro. That's what that looked like to me. Oh, hell nah, man. But if this was a man and his daughter, bro, the world would be on fire as it should. But that's the point I'm making. It doesn't make it any less weird when it's a mom and her son, bro.
It should have been no more kisses for him a while back. I'm sorry, but at a certain age, you gotta start setting boundaries, bro. It's no.
I never kissed my parents on the lips, bro. Maybe my mom used to kiss me on the lips before I could even remember, before I could even walk. But I've never seen her do it with my little sibling, so I know she not into that shit, man. Ugh. The only relative I've ever kissed on the lips was my grandma. Come here, baby, get grandma a kiss. And I had an old grandma, bro. It was just a culture, you feel me, we grew up in. It was not on no weirdo shit at all. But it's definitely, I think, a dying part of culture. I don't think it's normal now, or would be looked at the same way now. But that was it. That was the only relative I ever kissed on the lips.
Way that your kid is taller than you and you're still kissing them on the
And I only saw her like once in a blue moon.
lips. And of course, we got the viral video.
Oh yeah,
basically climbed on top of her.
Sure, she was. Look at this. She damn near ready to wrap them legs around him. That's her son.
Of course, we got the viral video of the football mom.
Nah.
Coach presents the Feel of Paul. Shop leather styles for love at Coach.com.
At Harbor Freight, we rigorously test and refine our tools. Look no further than Harbor Freight.
I'm sorry, but why are you singing this type of intimate lyrics when you're trying to interlock your hands with your son in this intimate setting? What's going on here, bro?
It's like when some of these women don't have a good man, bro. Their brains start to malfunction. It's like adult women, bro. They need consistent masculine energy and good dick, bro. It's like that's what these women need to be able to function properly. Like how your car need oiling, cooling, bro. These women, they need good dick and they need, you know what I'm saying, a good, solid man in the house. Because otherwise, they start, some of them, not all of them, obviously. Some of them start to malfunction, bro.
Explaining to my son that it's okay for his mother to be obsessed with him and that the internet cookies are hairs. Calling a bunch of girls your son's age who might be interested in him, who you don't know personally groupies, is insane.
Y'all are obsessed with your sons and it's fucking cringe. Regardless of race, a lot of moms have this weird connection with their son, almost like they're dating their son. And it's okay to be like, you know, love your kid and stuff like that, but it's weird. They be kissing.
Yeah, and it's not just black moms, bro. The text here says black moms, but as we've already seen in this video, it's a woman thing, bro. Like I'm saying it affects women of all races. You know what I'm saying? It's strange.
Again, twerking on their son, like, it's weird, just weird.
And, oh yeah, by the way, that dancing, twerking on their son's part is not an exaggeration. We have moms doing that on top of just overly sexualizing themselves in front of their sons. Now, these next couple of clips I'm about to show you are going to be pretty insane, so I'm going to have to heavily censor them.
Okay.
If you want to watch the full uncensored clips, they're going to be on my Discord.
Why would we do that? Nah, bro, I'm on to you. You trying to get some weird gooners in your Discord, gang. Why would you do that?
Join my Discord. The link is in the description.
Join my Discord to watch mommy son incest porn is essentially what bro just said, bro. Softcore mommy son incest porn.
Context because I can't show it on YouTube. Before this part of the clip, the roles were reversed, so the mom was backing it up.
Oh, hell nah, bro.
And she was backing it up. Which, I mean, this isn't the craziest clip because this is kind of like part of the trend. But, I mean, still, it's nice to have some boundaries. Next, we got this mom and son walk-sit challenge. Which, I mean, if that's part of the trend, do you, I guess. But again, it's nice to have some boundaries. And this next clip is when things really start.
What are you saying?
Bro,
it's nice to have some boundaries.
There's a lot of dudes out here that want to fuck
Say something,
bro. That's what I'm saying. A lot of dudes and a lot of moms out here want to fuck their sons, bro. I don't know, man. Like, this is weird, dog. This is weird, bro. What the fuck, bro? Bro got a stiffy on his mommy, bro.
I guess, but again, it's nice to have stiffy on his this next one, things really start getting weird.
Nah, man, I think bro got a stiffy too, bro. Why he bending over like that? You don't need to, bro. You just sat there for 8 seconds. You really want me to believe that required you assuming the? I'm tired. Oh my, nah, bro. That's what I'm telling you, bro. Bro got bricked up on his mother, bro. That is fucking foul.
And this next clip is when things really start getting weird. So her husband walks up and smacks her butt, which I mean that's normal. But then all of her sons follow behind and do the same thing.
I love you. See you, bro.
What type of sweet home?
Bro,
In Alabama?
we are living in a weird world.
And this clip right here is like the most professional clip ever. This mom literally records herself throwing it back on her son.
Tell me you're a boy, mom, without telling me you're a boy.
We are living. Oh my God.
And when she received backlash for her actions, this is what she had to say.
Yeah, man, I'm dancing on my phone for a while.
And luckily, a bunch of people.
But for why?
First off, you saying for why it tells me everything about you. That is your son. Why is you talking to your son? It's plenty videos of you dancing improperly with your son. And you don't find that weird because something wrong with you mentally.
Yes, the thing that bothers me the most is that she saw nothing wrong with that. She might need to be put on that list too. Now, this next set of weird moms are openly sexual.
Put them all on the list.
Themselves in front of their sons. Mother goes viral for shaking her cheeks on social media in front of her son. This is just not right. Why are you doing this in front of your son? Little man going through it, kind of asking out. She making a TikTok and she can be dressed. Leave that girl alone, please. I'm sorry. You know it's not as simple as just making a TikTok. I hate when people try to do that. This little child does not need to be witnessing this, especially not from his mom. And this isn't even including the fact that this video went viral. So his classmates or whoever may know him literally might run across his video and show it to him, rub it in his face, use it to bully him. Y'all know Paul CPS enough. Literally, some things can change black boys to cold. And this comment is really speaking facts because this is low-key traumatizing. Why are you coming to your kid's game dressed like this? I'm sorry, you cannot convince me that she's not seeking attention. And for the people who are gonna say, oh, that's her body, what is she supposed to do? Leave her ass at home? She literally posted the video with the angle beating her ass. How are you gonna explain that? I don't care how curvy your body is, there's ways to be honest. Lady, go home. You ain't coaching them, you're trying to get attention. This generation of women are so sad. Embarrassing for that little boy. Shake my head. Damn. Yup.
Yeah, man. Look, your mom showing up to practice thirst trapping, that ain't cool, man. That ain't cool. You don't want to know that all your little classmates is like staring at the camel toe. You know what I'm saying? She got the cleavage all the way down to the areolas. She wearing, and look, it's levels to leggings, bro. You got leggings that are just normal baseline leggings when leggings first came out, but now they got these like extra ones that like they cut into the booty cheek and they also allow it to jiggle more. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. That's doing way too much, bro. I don't think anything wrong with a woman putting herself together in a way where she feels attractive and sexy. And maybe she's single and she's looking for a husband. She's looking for a stepdaddy in the bleachers. But there's a line.
Even thirsty around kids. When does it end? Y'all want attention by any means. Literally, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We had another case of a football mom. And again, there's a bunch of people saying like, oh, what do you want her to do? Do you want her to leave her body at home? She's fully dressed. There's nothing she can do. And I just have to disagree. I feel like the way they dress is very intentional. Because how else do you explain when they take the video?
The way how anyone dresses and everyone dresses is intentional. Nobody gets dressed by accident. Nobody doesn't accidentally go on their body. So you know what you're doing whenever you put anything on.
If you're working on a task over here, if the camera is gonna get them from behind, like what's the subject of the video? Bro, it's like y'all choose to be oblivious. I honestly don't know when this became a trend, but you have these moms who are just so comfortable sexualizing themselves, working in front of their sons. For example, this is little baby's baby mother.
Okay. Andrew, where's the kid? She's shaking that ass, all right. And that's her son right there.
The fact that the little kid has to come and check you for you to have some self-respect, have some decency, is crazy. And I mean, at least she didn't initially have her son in the video. Other moms are just doing these type of videos with their son. And again, I can't show the whole video because of YouTube guidelines, but she was throwing cake in front of her son. And this next mom was literally throwing cake on a man in front of her son. Mind you, I don't think this was a husband, boyfriend, none of that. She was just being fast. And then you see her son rush over to break it up. He seems like he's embarrassed, shocked, and angry all at once, and rightfully so. And judging from the way she's laughing at the situation, it seems like the mom thinks this is all a joke. And look, I'm not trying to police anyone on what they do with their lives, but I mean, if you're gonna have adult time, do it when kids are there. There's a time and a place for everything. Your son should not be seeing you busting it down on some random dude. It's sad that these moms don't see how traumatizing this can be for their kids, especially their sons. Now, I know some of you guys are going to say some of these clips were stretched. I'm just looking too deep into it. But what?
Listen, man. Listen. I don't even know how you could necessarily stop this kind of thing besides shaming people on the internet when they upload it. But you got to think there are other people doing similar things and they're not uploading it. Hey, yeah, man. This is one of those situations where I don't even know what exactly is the solution. All I can do is encourage you as a man that before you have a kid with a woman, really, really be certain that you're ready to start a family and it's with a solid woman. And, you know what I'm saying? Do your part in keeping her satisfied, bro, because it seems for some of these chicks, when they're not satisfied, if they happen to have a son, that energy starts to go towards their son. But you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out.
Ooh.
Two generations of magicians brought together for a reason. The closer they look, the less they'll actually see. 3, 2, 1. So carry on, my horseman. You see, now you don't. Really PG-13.
Shopping is hard. I can never find anything in my size.
I buy my clothes the same place to buy my groceries.
Make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size, style, budget, and done. It was easy. Stitch Fix. Online personal styling for everyone.
Motherfuckers are clamping my shit.
This was crazy, bro. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not.
First, notice how this dude, and so they're talking about reparations. Notice how he changes what he says. First, he starts off by saying, you could give everybody in this room a $50,000 check, and it's not going to change anything. He then changes that to saying, especially people in the streets, because he knows he would have to be admitted that he is such a fucking retard because he's black that if he were to receive $50,000, that in no way is going to positively impact the trajectory of his life, nor would it impact any of the people in this room. But he remembered, oh wait, no, I'm one of the good ones. No, it's only the poor blacks in the hood that are going to spend it all on fucking hot Cheetos and rents and Jordans that it wouldn't help. So that's why they shouldn't receive it. Anyway, that was a quick aside. Let's keep it.
can increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% to 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young man.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie.
She like, nope. Fake. That shit, nope, nuh-uh, nope, nope. Nope.
No.
Statistics lie.
Notice Asmongold doesn't actually, debunk or says anything. This is how the white supremacist operates. This is how the low information, lowly educated white supremacist operate. He's just like, she's wrong. Nope. But yet gives zero information. Okay. How do you know she's wrong? And what is she wrong about exactly?
All the time. So let's start there. Particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of black people to
so the people, I don't even understand.
Ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
But I don't believe that happens at all. What? No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe this?
The truth.
This is what happens when Twitter meets reality. This is exactly what happens. False equivalence. Well, the thing is that, I mean, again, none of the Chinese people that were oppressed under, the law of 1882 exist anymore. They're all dead. It's the same as every single black person that was a victim of slavery is dead too, at least in America. There's still slavery in other places of the world. But they're all dead. This is a dead issue.
No, it's not, because when money is owed, money is owed. If you were owed money by the U.S. government or even a private person or a corporation, you happen to die, that those people don't just get let off the hook in your eyes. I'm sure if you had children, you would expect your children to receive the money that you were owed. Why should the victim be punished for the fact that the perpetrator of the crime is dragging their feet? That doesn't make sense. Is that how we should all just get out of our debt and our obligations and what we owe? Just don't pay them and hope they die before us? That doesn't work, sir. And that is the argument for reparations. Reparations is not a punishment on white people. It is not a penalty on white people or a gift to black people to say, sorry, we were bad to you guys. It's the fact that there were people who worked and were not compensated, and the wealth that they built is still fueling the corporation that is around today, which is the U.S. government. The U.S. government enriched itself off of the free labor of blacks, and then these black people were not compensated for their work. It's that simple. And of course, we all understand that they are dead, but these black people had children. So the descendants of these slaves, which most black Americans who are the descendants of slaves can actually prove that their bloodline goes back to the time of slavery. These people should receive the money that their great-great-grandparents or their great-grandparents were owed.
Like anybody that's living in this, it's not even that at all.
There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here.
What about the Japanese who U.S. put in the camps? Yeah, exactly, and that was in the 40s too. Well, to be fair, they did get reparations for them, and I think it's fair that they got reparations for them.
It's fair that they got reparations. Just so you know, the Japanese were put in internment camps for 3 to 4 years during World War II. 3 to 4 years, and they weren't forced to work. They were mostly just sitting around. It was basically like an open-air prison that they were put in. But they weren't abused, they weren't whipped, and they weren't forced to work for free. Yet, the black Americans who worked for hundreds of years even if you're just going to count the last generation of people who worked, which you shouldn't because their parents worked for free too. But even if you were just going to count the last generation of people, you're still talking about a group of people that worked for decades for free, and they didn't deserve reparations.
America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Law.
If you believe the Japanese deserved reparations, you must believe that black slaves deserved reparations because they got treated for far worse. They got treated far worse for far longer. And the only way you would deny that is if you're a fucking racist.
Cuban, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories using black-only dormitories because black-only dormitories, but they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my God, this is scary.
Black men are not more likely to kill you because you're black. That's the difference. White people are, right? And just very recently, a young black man was beaten and put in the hospital by 4 white teenagers. This was a 18-year-old black boy or black guy. And he was beaten and put in the hospital by 4 racist white teenagers who were yelling racial slurs at him. One of them, the perpetrators, was the son of a police officer. And he is on video when the cops showed up and are dealing with the situation, basically saying, we own this city. Yeah. With all the cops. Yeah. We own this. I'm just kidding. It was far. This far. And that is why black people sometimes, depending on their environment and cultural context, feel unsafe around white people in a way that they don't feel around black people. Because white people, we live in a country where white people, as this young white racist boy articulated, believe they have the power, the ability to hurt and harm black people with no consequences. That's the difference.
You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now.
Okay. It's crazy to me that, you know what this seems like to me? This is like a soundboard. It's like a soundboard of a dumb person that thinks that they're clever. It's like this is the kind of way that you would talk to somebody on the internet, but whenever it actually comes into like a public conversation, you realize how obnoxious and patronizing and self-defeating this type of rhetoric is. She's trying to belittle him. She's insulting. Yeah, because she's stupid. That's the reason why.
No, you're just white, and you don't understand that in black culture, we respect our elders, right? When you're having a conversation, you're supposed to respect your elders. That's just the culture that we come from. You don't talk to your black elders in any way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, with Gen Z, shit is different now. You feel me? But it's been a running meme for a long time that a white kids tell their moms to shut up, mom. You know what I'm saying? You speak back to your but you wouldn't understand that because that's culture.
Okay, so on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way,
not even today,
to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism when we have seen.
There's no way to make the argument because I said it's not true.
Well, okay. Well, I counter that not with just saying it's not true, but giving you actual evidence. So I asked ChatGPT, list all the ways in which systemic racism is still a part of the Black American experience. And of course, it gave me quite a lengthy list. But I'm only going to focus on a few. Under the category of economic inequality, we look at the subsection employment discrimination. Studies show that identical resumes with white-sounding names get more callbacks than black-sounding names. That's right. If you have a white-sounding name, that's the one that sounds a little bit more ethnic, a little bit more black, you have a higher likelihood of getting called back. Under the subsection of education and disciplinary disparities, black children are suspended and expelled at much higher rates than white children for similar behavior, feeding into the school to prison pipeline. Facts don't care about your feelings here. This is an unfeeling computer that is producing these answers by looking at all the available data and giving you the most logical answer based on the information that is available. Here's an oldie but a goodie. Sentencing disparities under criminal justice. This one I think is the one that speaks incredibly loud. Maybe not loudest, but it's very loud. Black people receive longer sentences than whites for the same crimes. Crack versus powder cocaine laws historically hit black communities harder, even though, crack versus powder cocaine sentencing disparities are one of the clearest examples of how systemic racism shaped U.S. drug policy and the criminal justice system. Let's break it down in detail. In the 1980s, the crack cocaine epidemic primarily hit black urban communities, while powder cocaine was more commonly used among white affluent populations. Media and politicians portrayed crack as far more dangerous than powder, even though chemically they are almost identical. This moral panic led Congress to pass the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986, which created extreme sentencing differences between crack and powder cocaine. Very similar to how in heavy metal and rock music you have Luciferian, demonic songs, violent songs, songs talking about all kinds of crazy shit. I just like to say that shit was incredibly ass. I'd much rather listen to King Von.
Yeah, look, I'm the dangerous, I keep that copper. And they ain't looking for no trouble, I'm just looking out for me. Cause I did shit, the niggas ain't talking about no rap.
Yeah, we just got aura, bro. Niggas just got aura. It is what it is. But notice how King Von is actually telling a story when fucking white people talk about violence. It's just. There is something, it's my baby, it's coming out. I feel like like, bro, what the fuck is that, bro? Oh, well, you know what I'm saying. Nah, just black people, we're the problem. We have multiple video games that drop every year and are in the households of just about every American teenager. Video games that glorify violence and the use of guns. Yet none of these are ever pointed at as a cause of white people being violent. Anytime a white kid shoots up a school, no one asks what was on his Spotify playlist. Anytime a white kid shoots up his family, no one asks, oh, how many hours did he spend playing Call of Duty? That shit is irrelevant, even though it's literally practicing, pretending, playing a virtual version of murdering people. That doesn't matter. But, a black rapper talks about shooting up his ops. Oh, yeah, well, that must clearly, definitely be causing black people to be more violent. Again, this is that just the cocaine versus crack, just in music form, right? Oh, because it's black, it has to be worse. Oh, black people are using crack? Oh, yeah, that must mean the crack is way, way worse, even though chemically they're almost identical. Now, check this out. The 100 to 1 rule. Under this law, 5 grams of crack cocaine, about the weight of a nickel, triggered a 5-year mandatory minimum federal prison sentence. However, it took 500 grams of powder cocaine to trigger the same sentence. Put another way, a person with crack cocaine faced the same punishment as someone with 100 times more powder cocaine. Now, when you understand that crack, when you make crack from cocaine, the potency drops to anywhere between 30 and 70%, right? Now, if you split the difference, let's just call it 50%. Meaning, you could make 1,000 grams of crack from the amount of cocaine that would get you 5 years in prison. However, only 5 grams of crack was enough to get you 5 years in prison. Now, crack was cheaper and more accessible in poor black neighborhoods, and so it was targeted heavily by law enforcement. Powder cocaine was more common among white users who were punished far less severely. Now, here's the kicker. By the early 1990s, over 80% of federal crack convictions were of black defendants even though the majority of crack users were white or Hispanic. You see, people talk about the crack epidemic in the 80s or in the 90s and how it decimated the black community as if blacks were hooked on crack to a degree that whites weren't. Like, oh, this is just something going on with just black people. They were just smoking a bunch of crack. No, white people use more cocaine, they use more crack, and yet black people fill up the prisons. Why? Because black people are over policed and are given harsher sentences for the exact same crimes. Systemic racism.
In very clear ways,
Yeah.
the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When
Yeah, sure. And so anyway, there is another person. See, and this is the problem that people like this have, like this young guy, is that he tries to be respectful and listen to other people's perspectives.
Right.
With people like her, you can't do that. They're lying retards that don't care about the truth.
Oh wow, no, you're a lying retard that doesn't care about the truth. I would love. You're not going to respond to this video. I already know, but I would love for you to respond to any of the points I just made. Debunk me. Debunk ChatGPT, because apparently ChatGPT is also a lying retard that doesn't care about the truth.
They don't care.
And I promise you, it was probably made by a bunch of good, smart white men that coded ChatGPT. Some Asians too, probably.
Care about the truth. They don't care
I know that means something to you.
about any sort of objectivity. They don't care about anything other than pushing what they believe. That's it. And they want to bully and attack and criticize and demonize anybody that they disagree with.
Did that any of that just happen? Did you see her fully attack or demonize that? You not at all. But he wants you to believe that.
Watch this one.
So why is that fair for people who never had slaves, who fought against slavery, to have to pay for people that had slaves?
one, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves. That is priority to you than finding a fair way to.
This is an optical argument. Again, this is what I'm saying. It's people like this, they only think about how things sound, not what they are.
Why does it sound? Oh, well, first and foremost, let's establish this. This is not about fair or not fair. This is about what is owed. Okay, so if fucking what's this guy's name? Asmund Gold were to get hit by a mail truck, right? USPS truck were to hit him, and he sued the government, right? Because USPS is a federal organization, right? It's ran by the U.S. government, and he sued them. Where do you think that money comes from? It's not coming out of the mailman's check. When Asmund goes and sues the government for over $1 million, that mailman can't pay that shit. No, you're gonna pay it, even though you didn't do it. You didn't hit the guy, right? But it's gonna come out of your taxes, out of your paycheck. And so, well, you're okay with that. If you were wrongly convicted of a crime and put in prison for several years, and then you were finally vindicated and free, you would expect a check from the U.S. government. Where do you think that money comes from? All the money the U.S. government has, for the most part, comes from taxes. That's where the money's coming from. But you expect that money, right? So these slaves were owed 40 acres. That was parceled out to them. 40 acres was parceled out by a Union general at the end of the war. Can't remember his name right now. 400,000 acres of land in Georgia and South Carolina, I believe, was sectioned off, and black people started to move in there. This was an agreement that was made because they understood this was the right thing to do. These people were forced to work without pay. They suffered horrible, horrible crimes against humanity. They were finally freed. The only righteous thing to do is to give these people
Call Ashline at 1-800-55-66-222.
Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. More performance with every drive.
This. I've branded him as an Indian guru. I don't know if he actually counts as an Indian guru.
Do I have children from some virgins? Yes.
Do you have a host of virgin party account, man?
How would you get into a virgin party?
Well, no, but I'd be there to take the virginities. I'm obsessed with it.
Why are you obsessed with them?
Bible does
That
condone
does not
slavery.
mean that does not
Paul
mean that
told
I
slaves
agree
to
with
obey-
instituting slavery.
But that's not what I said. I said the
not.
Bible condones slavery. You said no, it doesn't. I brought
It
a
doesn't.
passage where Paul says slaves obey your masters.
It doesn't.
You said, I agree with the Bible.
He does
You
not
see
say
the
in the
scriptural
book of
logic,
Philemon.
right?
In the book of Philemon, what happens in the book of Philemon? Do you know?
I'm asking you to. I gave
What
you a
happens in the
passage.
book of Philemon?
Hold on. You are very good at this. You keep moving the goalposts, okay?
How am I
The claim you made that the Bible does
I
not
you to go
condone
around
slavery.
and around about slavery.
I'm not going to let it go. Paul says slaves to obey your masters.
Yes.
Do you agree with
And
Paul on that?
wives submit to their husbands, and this is all in the context
Okay.
of children
So the
submitting to their fathers. That does
Right.
not mean that as an institution that he is condoning slavery or saying it's good. I think we can read God's heart
Slavery
behind
was-
that.
Well, that's a
I think
deep
that
interpretation. That's not in the text.
What was not in the text?
Well, like I said, I'm going to hammer it again. Paul
He's not
says,
saying that slavery is good.
Paul knew
You
what was
think
going
that
on.
he
He
is?
didn't get that.
You think he's saying that slavery
Absolutely,
is
because
good?
Paul's a
Okay,
part of
let's
this
talk
time.
about a different kind of slavery that existed, which was bond service, for example. So people were in debt, and so to pay their way out of debt, sometimes they would have bond service for a certain amount of time to pay their way into freedom. It was not always the same as the chattel slavery that we see in the 19th century in America, for example.
Yep.
And so it was a different context, and it was a different time. That does not mean that any of us should condone slavery.
All I want to
Because
say
we
is that you perfectly gave the framework why we don't believe that homosexuality in the Bible is the same thing as it is today. The Bible does
That
condone
does not
slavery.
mean that
Paul
that
told-
I.
One conservative Christian versus 20 liberal Christians. So just a bunch of fucking retards then, huh? Hey Siri, what team did Jack Sigma play for, or what teams, and what team is he most known for?
Jack Sigma played for several teams during his NBA career. He started with the Seattle Supersonics, where he became really well known and won an NBA championship in 1979. He also played for the Milwaukee Bucks and the Golden State Warriors before retiring. But he's definitely most famous for his time with the Supersonics.
Was he a key pivotal piece on the '79 championship?
Absolutely. Jack Sigma was a key player for the Supersonics during that championship run. He was known for his excellent rebounding, scoring, and his unique shooting style as a centre. He definitely played a big role in their success that year.
Were they using the same jerseys that they used in the 67 through 70 season in 79?
They actually had a bit of a different look by the time they won the championship in 1979. The Supersonics had changed their jerseys a bit over the years, so the style they wore in 1979 was a little bit different from the original ones from the late 60s and early 70s. It was still that iconic green and gold thing.
And it wasn't the same as the jerseys they used in the 82 season through the 95?
Right, exactly. The jerseys from the early 80s to the mid 90s had a different style, especially with the font and the overall design. The 1979 championship jerseys were a bit more classic and simpler compared to those later ones. It's always neat to see how the designs evolve over time.
So how long did they wear those jerseys that Jack Sigma wore in the 79 finals? Like when did they start wearing it and when did they stop?
Supersonics actually started wearing those jerseys in the mid 1970s, around 1975, and they kept that style through the championship in 1979. They wore a similar design until about the early 1980s when they switched it up to a slightly different look. So it was about a 5-year run or so with that specific style.
So give me the year range.
Sure thing. They wore that particular jersey style from about 1975 until roughly 1982. So it was a good run, and it definitely left a mark in NBA history.
And that's the only jerseys for the Thunder Supersonics that 2K doesn't have in the game. The one year they win the championship and they don't have those jerseys in. Well, I guess except for this year.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a rare oversight in the game's selection of jerseys. They have so many different eras, but that specific championship jersey is a bit harder to find. Hopefully they'll add it in the future, but at least you've got the other iconic looks to enjoy.
I don't want to hear your bullshit.
Do you believe that gay people are supposed to be celibate?
I think that we are all called to deny what the Bible calls sin.
I don't believe it's a sin to be gay. The Bible does
That
condone
does not
slavery.
mean that
All
I
slaves
agree
to
with instituting slavery.
You are very good at this. You keep moving the goalposts, okay? The claim you made that the Bible does not condone slavery. I'm not going to let it go. What we're suffering from right now on the right and on the left is a massive lack of empathy for each other. We're being fed algorithms that show each other these crazy versions of the other side, and we don't look each other in the eyes and feel for one another.
Hi, I'm Allie Beth Steffi. I'm the host
What
of
year
the
did Jack
podcast
Sigma play
Label,
on the Bucks?
and I'm author of the book Toxic Empathy: How Progressives Exploit Christian Compassion. I'm surrounded by 20 liberal Christians. My first claim is the Bible says marriage is only between one man and one woman.
Yay.
You got it. Good job.
Okay, so I am an independent, but on this issue I do lean liberal.
Yeah.
I am an independent, but on this issue I don't.
I'm not very religious. How you not very? You either are. But I don't know if any of these people are about to profess that will make me actually rethink my stance on abortion.
claim is abortion is a grave moral evil.
It's your hair is a grave moral evil.
Got him, bitch.
Hello, my name is Jared. What is yours?
Jared, I'm Allie. Nice to meet you.
Hi, very nice to meet you. Yeah, if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
I'd like to start with a couple yes or no questions, and then I'd like to hear your response fully without interruption.
Okay, can I define our terms first and then I'll let you go and I won't interrupt you? Okay, so because these terms are so contentious, I just want to make sure that we agree. So abortion, the intentional killing of a human being in the womb. Can we agree on that?
I don't agree that abortion is murder.
I said killing. Can we agree on that?
I believe that it is killing life in the womb.
Killing is what species of life?
A human.
A human. Okay,
Yes.
so we can agree that abortion is the intentional killing of a human inside the womb. Grave, just obviously, I mean serious. Moral, right versus wrong. Evil, bad, wrong, sinful. So I believe that the intentional killing of an innocent human being is evil. Do you agree?
No.
You don't. Okay.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Yes or no? Is abortion murder?
Yes.
In Matthew 5:28, when Jesus says that if I look at a woman lustfully, that I've already committed adultery with her in my heart.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Jesus doubles
Yes or no?
down on so many moral laws of the Old Testament.
Just
and
yes or no,
really
if that's
important.
okay.
Do I agree with what?
That if I look at a woman lustfully, that I've already committed adultery with her in my heart. Do you agree? Yes or no?
in your heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Matthew 5:22, when it says that if I'm angry with my brother or sister, then I am guilty of the same judgment as if I had committed murder.
Yes,
Do you
spiritually.
agree? Yeah.
Spiritually.
Would you?
Not necessarily legally.
Would it be fair to say that Jesus is implying that lust can lead to adultery and that anger can lead to murder?
Yes, I would agree with that. But he is also saying that actually following the law is not just about what you do outwardly, but what you do in your heart and what you think and feel inside.
Absolutely. Are pregnant women angry with the baby when they undergo an abortion? Yes or no?
I have no idea. I don't think either of us can say how every single pregnant woman feels when she has an abortion. Do you know what every single pregnant woman is feeling when she has an abortion? Maybe some of them are angry at the baby. Maybe some of them are scared. Maybe some of them are desperate. Maybe some of them just don't want to be pregnant anymore. But ultimately, it still leads to the same outcome that an innocent human being is being killed.
Yes or no? So you would
Okay,
say
I gave you more than that.
that's fine. I just was trying to one more. And how can abortion be murder? They do not share the same intention. How can an apple seed grow an orange tree?
Jesus doesn't say that anger is the only thing that leads to murder. As we saw in the case of David, it was lust that led to the murder of Bathsheba's husband. So murder can still be murder even if the intent does not start with anger. And that is what I believe we see with abortion.
What about Matthew 26:24, when Jesus says that it would be better if Judas had never been born? Why do Christian conservatives believe that each conception deserves to be birthed when Jesus says otherwise?
Jesus doesn't say that Judas should have been murdered or that he should have been aborted. It said that he should have never been born, which we can deduce probably means never been conceived. And he is speaking figuratively there, that it would have been better for him to not be born than endure the judgment that he's going to endure because of what he did. That is not condoning killing the innocent people that Jesus defends. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, what's your name? Steve. Nice to meet you, Steve.
My concern about the way that you present the abortion issue
Okay.
is you have claimed in the past that the liberal pro-choice position is that we don't give the full truth about the abortion issue.
That's
You liken
probably
it
true.
as violent. You've described
Yeah.
it here as killing.
Abortion is violent.
And painful.
Yes, for the child, absolutely.
My problem, my concern is that you are doing the same thing by not telling women the truth. That when the majority of abortions happen, which is in the first 6 weeks of pregnancy, that fetus does not develop pain receptors. That doesn't happen until maybe at the earliest 10 weeks, Allie.
So are you
Most
saying that
experts
murder
say
that
22 to 24 weeks.
is killing only
there's
wrong
no-
if someone can feel pain?
It's wrong for you to characterize it as violent
It is
and
violent.
painful when it's not.
It is violent. Of course it's
But it's-
violent. Even when you take
it's
the
not.
abortion pill, you are starving that human being. If you want to call him or her a zygote or a fetus, that's all fine. Those are all stages of development that all of us went through, that all children go through. It is still the killing of a human being. And when you take the abortion pill, the two-part abortion pill, you are starving that human being of the nutrients that he or she needs to survive.
That they
and
can't
that is
feel.
violent.
That they can't
It is-
feel.
Are you saying there are a lot of people who are murdered who can't
But
feel it? Are you saying that that murder is justified because they can't feel it?
No, we're talking about abortion.
We're talking
Allie,
about
we're not talking about something else. We're talking about abortion.
But I'm trying to understand your logic. You are
Yeah.
saying that abortion is okay because babies don't feel it. So I'm asking you: is killing another innocent person when they don't feel it, is that justified?
Abortion is health care for women who need it, who have
In
unwanted
what other
pregnancies,
case is killing an
12-year-old
innocent
girls who have
person?
been raped, who have experienced incest, Allie.
That's less than 1% of all abortions. Can we agree?
So most of the
If
abortions
I said
happen
to
within
you,
the first 6 weeks.
if I
and
said
it's
to you,
not painful
okay,
and violent.
if I said to you, okay, fine, we will only allow, which this is not my position, but if I said we will only allow abortion in those 1% of cases in which it's rape or incest, would you agree with me to ban the rest of abortion?
The denial,
99%?
the denial of abortion health care to women is 100% harmful to the woman who absolutely
And
needs
abortion
it.
is 100% harmful to the
mental health
child.
care, physical health care.
Killing an
Allie,
innocent person is not health care. Can you tell me another situation in which killing a person intentionally is health care?
here's the problem with the whole pro-life movement. You talk a lot about look at the evil origins of these movements. Look at your movement, Allie. The religious right movement started with the Southern strategy, and it didn't start with abortion. They figured out abortion was a great issue to raise a lot of money. No, this is your issue.
No, my argument is that abortion is a grave moral evil. You say it's not because babies in the womb don't feel pain until a certain point in gestation. I'm asking you to apply that logic to people outside of the womb. Is murder okay when the victim doesn't feel pain? And why or why not?
Here's the issue.
You
Was
don't
Jesus
want to
a
apply
Jew?
your logic to people outside of the womb. Tell me why.
You don't want to listen to the logic that
I listen
experts
to
say
your logic.
that
You won't
the issue
support
is
your
not pain.
logic. You won't support it.
Jesus was a Jew, Allie, and Jews believe that life begins at first breath, not at conception. So this whole idea that life begins at conception, not biblical.
Okay,
it's not Jesus.
I would love to answer that before you get voted out because I think that's really important. I've heard that a lot, that life begins at first breath. First, we don't actually see that throughout Scripture. That's number
That's
one.
within the culture,
We can
and
see in Jeremiah
that was
1:5.
the
We can see in Psalm 139 that God actually consecrated people. God actually knitted them together in their mother's womb with intentionality and purpose and love. That's what we read in Psalm 139. That your eyes saw my unformed substance before any of my days came to be. That's what we read in Psalm 139. The other thing is, people say that life starts at first breath. First of all, breath is not an indicator of moral worth. There are people that depend on a ventilator to breathe. That's not justification to murder them. And then the third one is that babies actually do breathe inside the womb. They're not breathing air, they're breathing an amniotic fluid, which is practicing those breathing motions. And so I'm still not understanding your logic or the science behind what you're claiming.
Yeah, so the abortion issue.
Thank you.
League is finally over. Holiday scratches from the Arizona Lottery every year. Playing it today.
Hey, what's your name? Hi, I'm Katrina. Katrina, I'm Allie. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I loved all the points that you said. You really stood your ground. I did not do what you're doing. So Well, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to talk about how, for me, as a progressive Christian, many behind me, I think we often, talking about the conservative side, relate to the fact that there seems to be a hierarchy of sins, and abortion and LGBTQ issues seem to be at the top of that, and that's really just like targeted a lot. It's really villainized. And so I would like to bring up an example, a biblical example, where there is a hierarchy, and abortion falls underneath adultery. I don't know if you've heard of Numbers 5 in the Bible.
Yes, I have.
When it talks about that if a woman cheats on her husband,
If the husband suspects that the woman has cheated, not if she's cheated.
right, if he even suspects that she's cheated on her husband,
Yes.
that she is to go and have a ceremony performed by a priest, where the priest, it says that he mixes the sand from the tabernacle grounds, puts it into a holy water, and that water says that if there is a curse, if she's done the wrongdoing, there will be a curse, and there will be a miscarriage, which what it sounds like is like an intentional removal.
I
of
could
the
see how someone would get that. Although I would say that all of us would probably agree this is a very strange and complex passage, and every theologian that I've read, that phrase "her thigh fell away" is very confusing. I think what we can read from this is that God is providing a way for a woman to prove her innocence if she is innocent and escape the punishment of her jealous husband. Because back then, a man and a woman who were caught in adultery, there was the death penalty, actually the same penalty that it is for murder. So I would not agree that the hierarchy, the punishment for adultery and the punishment for murder was death.
Still, a fetus is the one who's going to be removed from that situation.
No, I don't think that we know clearly that this is a miscarriage. I think it is pretty confusing, and that we can actually just see that this is a way for God to provide a woman to prove her innocence. It's certainly not condoning abortion.
Mm-hmm. But I think we should look at every verse that way, that every verse is nuanced and less. And I think that's the biggest thing from the progressive side, that there's a lot of nuance to biblical verses, and you can't.
I don't think thou shalt not murder is an absolute. There's no
for sure, and
nuance there.
those verses for sure. But all the verses that we're talking about surrounding, like this particular one, you refer to it as strange. Yes, it is very strange because there's a lot of nuance around it.
Yeah.
The verses about homosexuality, there's a lot of nuance. There's different context going on. I think we can agree there, and I think it's dangerous when we speak in the black and white and villainize.
Some things are black and white, but I'll agree with you that some things are complicated. Sometimes we as finite Christians are like, okay, I don't really know what's going on here. Let me do my best to try to understand within context. However, when it comes to murder, when it comes to killing an innocent person, I think that you would say, put the abortion issue aside, would you say that killing an innocent person, a defenseless person, is always wrong?
Yes, always wrong. But I don't agree that the removal of a fetus of a human cells is murder.
Okay,
I think that's
let's
the language is
define
really
what's
dangerous.
happening inside of the womb. When does a human being become a person? Because you're saying that this is not a person inside the womb, correct? Okay, so when does a human become a person?
I think that when you can actually visibly see the little feet, the little fingers, the little body.
Okay, so you're in favor of abortion only before 9 weeks, because at my 9-week ultrasound, I saw the little buds and the wiggly little baby. So you're only okay with abortion before 9 weeks.
I think early on, it's before 6 weeks because it's sugar with cells. But also, let's talk about
it's still a human being.
Let's talk about how abortion disproportionately affects those who don't have access to it, people who are in low income situations. And if you look at the juveniles who are in the jail system, 75% of juveniles in the jail system come from low income situations where a woman could have otherwise said, I cannot give this life the best chance it deserves. And then they're in jails, and then we're talking about euthanizing
And
people
it's
in
so
jail.
sad, but killing a person doesn't heal that woman. Killing a person doesn't make her life better.
A targeted thing that everybody is so passionate about. And there are so many people
okay,
here.
Okay, even if you don't agree with this, can I just help you understand our perspective? I know that no, I don't think that you do, because you said it's the removal of a fetus. Yeah, this is okay. No, whatever you think about when a person has value and rights, this is a human being. From the moment of conception, it's he or she. It's X or XY, their own DNA. They're going to have their own fingerprint.
Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey, you fucking.
Have their entire genetic makeup that with time and with sustenance will grow into what you and I look like. And so killing
so hard
a child
versus the children that are here that are
we don't care about murder. No, that's a red herring. We can talk about what we should do for children outside the womb. I'm with you on that. We can unite on that, our desire to help them. But I don't see why your compassion for kids outside of the womb stops just based on the child's location or size or age.
There's results versus a living, breathing human being. It's just completely different.
It's something that's not. It's not. It's a human being, and we're close to cells too. And I think it would be wrong to murder you. Yes, thank you.
Hey, hi, I'm Angie. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, so the first thing that I want to bring up is we can go back to the Bible, but I will say clearly, I do have personal convictions about abortion that may not everyone in the circle may agree with. I was raised very conservative, Texas, Bible Belt, like I was homeschooled, all of that. Yeah. So like I understand the idea of like how horrible it is.
Now you got your fucking big old titties out for everyone to see. Nobody gives a fuck. Jubilee and Jubilee.
If you're an illegal alien, this runway is your future because you're headed home.
That is so good.
Yeah, the that's different. I think the right mid is also different as well. Yeah, that kind of works actually, guys. 442 for the idea of minutes box box. Minutes box box. Yeah, true that. That could actually work. People Pele. Wow, was that the Brazil Pele?
Well, you're trying to hurt you. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
It's your boy Warlow back with a video. And we are going to be ranking the best point guards in my team. Now, people been saying you've been flipping your opinions. I ain't gonna lie, I've been watching so many other tier lists and watching other people play games. It's swaying my opinion. This is my first tier list and opinion where I'm just going based on my opinion. I think we need to come back to that. We need to come back to that reality that I'm just smarter than the rest. I think we went too long without it. I think we got to get it back in order. Let's get it. But we're getting right into it. I feel good now. We locked in. And I'm just going to do what I personally think. I do not care if you like this tier list or hate it. This is just what I personally think. And I think this is what we've been missing from this channel. My real freaking takes. My real takes personally. So first thing first, I'm going to be ranking right here. We'll rank Derrick Rose up first. I'm ranking Derrick Rose in D tier. Derrick Rose is not that good. Overall, I use Derrick Rose. I honestly did not really like the card. He's 6'3", has a good dunk. He's just not that good in this game. It just is what it is. He's just not that great. So personally, I'm going D tier for Derrick Rose. Next up on this list, got Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is F tier. Caitlin Clark offers no value. On the court, it's just fact she's 5'7" or 6 foot, and she has 5'7" small. Like, what is she gonna be doing for you? Like, I'm being honest. Honestly, I think Caitlin Clark is better than D Rose. I'll put her in D tier. I'll put her in D tier because I think she personally better than Derrick Rose. D Rose ain't that good. At least you don't got a hit. D Rose about to go F tier. It may hurt me to say it about D Rose. It's just D Rose is freaking useless. Like, that's how useless D Rose freaking is. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to move D Rose to F tier. Next up is Jason Williams F tier. I don't know. I don't put him in D tier. I've been seeing a couple of y'all with him. I don't know why. I get F tier. I ain't showcasing Jason Williams. Why are we using Jason Williams? He sucks. Like, I see him around. I mean, the guards stink every time I play. He's freaking sucks. Because of you just starting out. Next tier list for ranking is Derek Fisher, unusable release, trash. I don't really like Derrick Rose at all. I mean, I can still cook with D Rose, but D Rose ain't good. Okay, let's just get that twisted. If you match me with D Rose, you getting cooked by me. But Derrick Rose is just, to me, just not that good. But Derek Fisher released unusable. Garland, I'll rank him in D tier because at least Garland has a release. So there's that. I'm just cool with this, but I'm ranking him in that B tier for Darius Garland. That's the highest I'll go with him. Michael Carter Williams, I do get Michael Carter Williams. I think this card's gassed up. B tier. I like Michael Carter Williams. I just think he's overrated in a way. I think at minimum he can go A, but I don't think Marcus Carter Williams is great, really. I feel like he's good enough. He hits the jumpers, he can do stand-up, but I don't think he's nothing spectacular, really. I don't really like him, honestly. I think he's okay. He's not bad. Ron Harper, I think Ron Harper in A tier. I really like Ron Harper. Ron Harper has a fast release. He has 6'6". I think he's a perfect guard. I'm ranking him S tier. He's a perfect point guard, honestly. Perfect height. Can switch on some defenders. I think he's awesome in this game, personally speaking. Magic Johnson, I probably would put C tier. But at least you can run Magic at 6'9" if you want to, and he still offers 6'9" abilities at some way. So, only Ruby card on the list, I'm ranking him. Next up is Jason Kidd. I don't like Jason Kidd. I'm sorry. His layup package mid. I'm sorry. I'm ranking him where I personally think it fits. And I might just rank him in the same tier with Mike Carter Williams. I don't think either of them are that great, honestly. I don't think either of them are that good. I think both of them fall better than Magic Johnson. But, like, Jason Kidd is mid. Like unless you're Ty Debo and you know how to do your left leaners with him, his layup package sucks. He doesn't do a stand-up. I'm ranking Magic C tier. I really don't like Jason Kidd. I think Michael Carter Williams is better than Jason Kidd. I feel like I wasted my exchange fees on him. He's not that good. Unless you're Ty, I'm sorry. You're hating it. I mean, I'm ranking him based on what I'm feeling. Based on what I'm feeling. What I read, like, it's like 6'9". Like, Jason Kidd is not it. It's just not it. It's like he's either go B tier. I'm just thinking even C. I really don't like Jason Kidd, so screw it. I really don't like him over Mike Carter. Mike Carter Williams doesn't have to worry. At least doesn't stand up. At least Isaiah Thomas, garbage guard. Garbage guard. Literally garbage. I'd rather say, I mean, Jason Kidd's released awesome. mid-sec. I forgot to say that. But D'Lo also is not good either. I use his car 8 F tier. There's a lot of F tiers. I mean, D'Lo ain't that good either. He's a hidden gem. Sorry you got him. He's not good. D'Lo ain't good. Jordan Clarkson's really good, A tier. Jordan Clarkson's 6'5", has a very tough release. Jordan Clarkson's very, very, very good in this game. I actually played against Jalen Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson's really good. He's a really solid card in this game, personally. So A tier or Jordan Clarkson. Jay Williams, I mean, D tier. It's just you're not going to be able to use Jay Williams and talk to millions. So it don't even matter what he is. Damian Lillard, just F tier. I don't think he offers anything on the court. I don't think Dame offers anything much either. I think he's not good either. Okay, I don't think he's much better than Derrick Rose. Okay, and I think he's worse than D Rose. So I don't like his release. He has no left leaner at all. He's just D Rose Pro 2 is also inconsistent. I don't think anybody F tier is honestly a good card. Becky Hammond is a garbage can. She needs her own list of females that need to go. Garbage card. DeAndre Murray, I don't remember if he has a leaner. I'm putting him in B right now. I don't remember off the top of my head if DeAndre Murray have a leaner. I don't remember if he does personally. But I don't think his tandem's that high either. So I'm ranking him at B tier, honestly. I think overall for DeAndre Murray, I think B tier is pretty fair. So yeah, Paige Beckers. She's not even, I mean, D tier. She's 6'1". She's not on an F. I mean, she's 6'1". I mean, I'll rank her in D tier. You want to use Paige Beckers, but Caitlin Clark's way better than Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers going to F tier. I don't mind Paige in IRL, but she's garbage in 2K. I mean, seriously, why does she move like my old grandma? Grandma 94. Paige Becker shouldn't be moving like my grandma at 94. Shout out to my grandma. But she doesn't move like her. She moves like that. She moves in real life. She can't move. How you 6'1", he can't move. Trae Young, useless. I don't know why he's there. He's trash too. He's going right there with Marcus Smart up next. 6'3" point guard. I like Marcus Smart. I personally think his release is top tier. It just puts him in that A tier category. Just, he's 6'3". I don't like that. His release is still really good. Like, his release better than DeAndre, better than Marcus Williams. He has a really, really good release, so I am cool with that. Matthew Dellavedova, I don't know. His card has defense, the lax driving dunk. Probably C tier for Matthew Dellavedova. He's okay. It just, I don't know. I can't go any higher than that. I personally think I'm good with it. And I personally think it's fair. Okay, let's continue this ranking. Let's continue this ranking real quick. Let's make that a little smaller. Okay, let's continue this ranking. But next up, we got Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers sucks. I mean, don't use Doc Rivers. He's not a good card, personally. Just don't. Matt McClung, he has a good release. I mean, D tier. He's 6'1", though. It just, he has a high driving dunk, which I do like, but he's too short in this game to be anything competitive, so I'm sorry he's going to have to go in D tier. Next up, we got Ja Morant. I probably go B tier for Ja Morant. Ja Morant's actually really, really good. He's just expensive. Like, he has a high driving dunk. He's going to dunk the ball. It's good dribble style. I personally do like Ja Morant in this game, personally. So yeah, personally, I like him. Kobe White's going in the A tier. Kobe White's 6'5" point guard. He's really good. Like, I really do like Kobe White. I just wish he could do a left leaner. But other than that, he's pretty perfect on the court. So I do like Robert Cup. I do like him. Next up, we got is Mike Conley. Mike Conley, D tier. Michael Conley just ain't doing much of nothing. That card.
Weak shit the fuck out of it. Sit your bitch ass on the ground, pussy.
I'm going F. I don't think he's better than Caitlin Clark. So
bring it in my paint, pussy.
Yeah, that man just sucks. Spencer Dinwiddie, okay. He's 6'6" point guard, like it, A tier. He's 6'6". He's better. He's gonna be better than Jai. He's gonna be better than DeAndre. He's gonna be really good in this game, personally. So I think personally he's gonna be good. Next up, we got Chris Paul. Chris Paul's going in at C tier for Chris Paul. What does Chris Paul do? He's 6'1", but he has some leanings going for him. But he's not better than Michael Carlin. He's not better than DeAndre Murray. He's literally on that Matthew Dellavedova level. So I personally like it at C tier. Next up is Andre Miller. Andre Miller ain't bad. I honestly don't even mind the card B tier. For what he offers on the court, I don't even mind Andre Miller. I forgot what his release looks like, but overall the stats look good.
La estoy rompiendo. Ya tengo el iPhone 17 Pro por cuenta de Verizon y la mejor red 5G. No solo está lindo el día de hoy.
Get the new iPhone 17 Pro and the new iPad and Apple One, all on us.
¿Dónde más pues?
Aveeno Skin Relief with soothing triple oat complex, clinically proven for 72-hour hydration.
For your small business, no detail is too small. You know.
I actually like Andre Miller in the car. I think Andre Miller is actually a very good point.
I didn't.
I think he can be very, very, very good. Next up is Abdul. I'm sorry, you're garbage. You suck. You're terrible, useless, led astray. You're not playing. SGA up next. I don't think SGA is all that great. I play with him. I probably put him in that A tier bracket. I don't think SGA is all that crazy. Like he has a right leaner, but he has no left. Like I don't fear SGA on the court when I match against SGA. It's just facts. And I just remember while making this list that I forgot Josh Giddey on the dang list. Of course I did. I forgot to rank Josh Giddey. I forgot to rank Giddey. I did forget to rank Giddey on the list. Okay. Giddey will rank him next. I'm ranking Giddey at probably on that B tier level. Like 6'6". Like Giddey is 6'6". Like I'm putting him in that B tier level. I got SGA and B. I'll rank him in that B tier level. I personally think he is a B tier level point guard overall, so I like him in that B tier. Next up on our list, we got
No
Billy
fucking
Dono, F tier, garbage. Next up, we got Fred VanVleet, also garbage, not good at all. Eric Weir's 5'7". He honestly, I don't know what they were doing when they made that card garbage. Okay, but next up on our list, we got Jason Terry. Hey, Terry ain't bad D tier. He ain't good. I ain't gonna get it twisted. He ain't good, but he's not bad. He still has defense. He still can do things on the court. I don't
Box
think
him out, you
that
fucking
great, but
bitch.
you know he can do something. The Earl Monroe, probably go see for Earl Monroe. I mean, he's okay, but I don't think Earl Monroe's gonna be that great. I'm just being honest. I don't think he'll be that good on the court for you. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Sam Cassell is a garbage man. Does not play in this game. Next up on our tier list, we got is Devin Harris. He has the Aaron Fox cross, so that's actually going good for him. I'd probably go at C tier, just because he can get to the rim really good.
CPU so baited.
Defense left, but he can get to the rim really
ass.
good. So, yeah, I personally like it. So, yeah, Markel Fultz has an unusable base. D tier,
Why the fuck did I shoot
Markel
that?
might look good on paper, but that base sucks. I mean that. That base is awful. Next up is Jordan Poole. Defense is unusable. He freaking stinks in this game. I'm sorry. Next we got Brad Davis. He's not bad actually. He doesn't have a bad role. I'll put him in D tier. 6'3" guard. Not bad. Same with Eric Snow. He offers defense. But Eric Snow just lacks something.
That's the fucking ball.
All he lacks. If he had that better, I think I'll go higher. But I think that's all I can go. Tyrese Haliburton up next. Honestly, in this list, probably B tier. I don't even like Tyrese. But Tyrese can't lean. So I'm actually gonna go lower. I think he's going D tier. I'm sorry, Tyrese can't take a leaner. Like you gotta add that in. He's not better than Jason Kidd, not better than Chris Paul. He's not gonna be better than any of those guys, personally speaking. So I'm going D tier for him. Sean Livingston, I actually like Sean Livingston a lot. I think he's personally really good B tier. He's a really good budget point guard. You need a point guard for a lower price. He is a really good point guard in this game. Next up is Ben Simmons. I like Ben Simmons. A tier. Like, the more I use Ben Simmons, the more and more I actually like Ben Simmons. Like, Ben Simmons is actually tough in this game. I actually do like him. He actually been playing better for me lately, and I'm not gonna front. He is a really good point guard in this game. Next up is World B3. I don't like World B3. Garbage guard. He's here. He's okay. Mo Williams. He just sucks. Mo Williams. I would love Money Mo to be good, but 2K is not gonna make Mo Williams good. It just is what it is. Derek Harper on paper actually looks good. I like Derek Harper. I think Derek Harper is a phenomenal guard. I'm sorry, I think he's actually B tier. I think he's a solid point guard in this game personally. And I'm gonna have to move Josh Giddey up because Josh Giddey is better than Sean Livingston. It's just facts. I'm probably just gonna have. But I think I like the way the list is looking at. It's just I'm gonna have to move him up. But I'm going A tier. Next up on our list, we got Terry Porter, F tier. I don't like him. I'm being honest. Kenny Anderson is not good. Terry Porter has a good release. If it's from previous years, he typically has a good release. So keep that a little in mind. I just can't remember off the top of my head if that release is good or not. But I just can't remember. But yeah, I don't mind it. Next up, we got Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs would be higher if he could just take a leaner. He can't take a leaner, so he's falling in that beach. I don't even think Jalen Suggs is bad, but no leaner, no mean. It's just bad. It's just actually bad. Now we're gonna rank it Jim Paxton. I'm actually gonna go actually in the background. I'm looking at his release right now. Because I actually played against him, but the guy didn't shoot against me. With them, I'm actually gonna review. I'm actually gonna look at that jumper in the back. I honestly, I might be. I want to gas this card up. He's 6'6". He's in, my glasses just fell to the ground. My goodness. Now I just lost my glasses. That's all but nice. But no, he's 6'6". He literally should be good for you. I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna have to gas John Paxson. I think I'm gonna have to gas Paxson up. Right? Like I think I'm gonna have to gas him. And using his release in the background, that release is a butter. I'm sorry. I don't know why we don't gas cars up. But like, why would I not be gassing these cars? Paxton literally has good enough defense. I know the block rating low. I'm putting him in that B tier. I use his jumper in the background. He is not bad whatsoever at 6'6". Obviously, he doesn't know. He might not have what Dinwiddie gives you, but like, he is good. I mean that. That card is actually really really good. So honestly, I have nothing on that card. Next up, Reggie P is Reggie P is typically a 6'6". I'll put a D there, 6'6", but other than that, he's pretty useless. Next up, we got is Ron Harper. This card's not that great. I'd probably go D tier for him. It's just facts. It's just not that great, really. Next up, Michael Ray Richardson. He has a really good. He's a really good card. I like this card. 6'5" point guard right now. If I had to rank him, I think he'll fall into A tier. So yeah, I personally do like it. I personally like it. Walt Frazier, Marcus Smart, Amethyst card probably gonna fall in B tier. He's a really good point guard. Really good point guard on a budget. Like he not on a budget, but if you get from your hidden gem pack, which I think I did, no, I might have not, but he's good. Marcus Smart is a good point guard. I personally do like Marcus Smart in this game and do think he is a good enough point guard in this game personally. So next up, we got his security books. Skill Henderson ain't even bad, Steve here. He has a high driving dunk. Shots way better than last year. Skill Henderson is not a bad point guard in this game. I like him. Alex Caruso, coming in at B tier. I don't think he's on that A tier level, but I think literally he's in B tier. I personally do like it. So yeah, I personally do like it. Michael Bibby, we're gonna rank him at G, probably F tier. The card stinks. I mean, Archie, Maurice cheats. He always cheats. F tier. Charlie Scott ain't bad. I'm gonna say this right now. Charlie Scott ain't on B tier. He's 6'5". He's 6'5". I know the tier might not be the highest, but he ain't even bad.
Checking, savings, and credit card seamlessly in one place. The U.S. Bank's Smartly Sweep is key to growing your money.
The perfect crunch with no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. Tostitos, made the traditional way.
What's up, y'all? It's time. In this video today, we're going to be reacting to DBG and talking about This Has Gone Too Far. Now, you guys can see in the graphic, Dr. J is 5 million MT. Also, side note, if I have to pause the video at any point, it's because I got a game. I'm searching, obviously, in King of the Court, trying to win this week. So if I get a game, that is why I will be stopping the video. But shout out to DBG. Go sub to the YouTube channel. That will be a link down below in the description. I appreciate you guys as always, and I appreciate DBG.
Yeah, what is going on? What is going on? That's all I can ask is what is going on. Like, we are now at the stage where it's actually, like, I don't know how, but somehow this current version of the auction house makes the player market look good.
It does, 110%. The only difference is you couldn't snipe with the player market, I guess, unless there was that glitch or whatever. With this, you still can't snipe, but he's 100% right.
Like, what happened? What happened to this game? Like,
What happened? It's 5.6 million for Dr. J with 2 hours to go.
Meanwhile, this is a base Dr. J, no extra legends, no extra Hall of Famers, no extra anything.
And you know he's gonna go for 4 or 5 million. I thought he was gonna be less than maybe 1-2 million. Like, I literally like this is actually scary. This is scary. Because like if you go back to what this game used to be, let's just go back to what it used to be. So let's look at this collection. Let's go 2K22. And again, 2K22 at this time of the year, October back. It's not even second week of October back. Flash 2. I kid you not, like this card.
That IT was good.
It was like 120k.
And he was good.
And he was like the best point guard in the game at the time.
He was really
You were getting Scottie Pippen. We had the cheesy Scottie behind the back. This dude was free. All you had to do,
and he was good. He was good too.
Dude was in 5 unlimited games. Didn't have to be in a row. Just
But y'all imagine that now in 5 showdown games in a row, you get a really good point guard.
5 unlimited games over the course of a weekend, and you got this demon for free. Anthony Davis is like this AD is as good, is nearly as good as this Dr. J. 5 million. Heck, even last year's Dr. J was way cheaper than this. Way cheaper. Let's go to 2K23, and you look at we look at what happened around this time. So week 2 in October, unstoppable. Like Joel Embiid was about 400 or 500k. He wasn't very good. This was one of the worst pack drops ever, by the way. This pack drop sucked. This pack drop really sucked. And even like the following week, start of season 2, we were getting these random packs on a Tuesday, and we were getting shooting Akeem Olajuwon with 85 speed and perfect stats, and he was like,
which 600k is still a lot of MT, but not compared to what Dr. J is.
It's like 600k.
Not
whatever. Like these cards were expensive, but 5.6 million. 5.6 million, and the odds were as bad back then as they are now.
That is
when
true.
you look at that. And the scary thing is, like, we've got people saying they want to go back to 2K24.
2K24 pre-All-Star break was incredible as far as the auction compared to the player market compared to what we got right now.
Like, 2K, you fucked up.
Run, you slow fuck.
Like the
What the
last
fuck is he running like that for? Look at this fucking ball-headed fucking...
Season 1 was the perfect build.
Fuck kind of run is that?
Which was, you had to, lock in all of these players. You had to lock in, basically, you had to lock in everybody, who then you had to buy everybody, and all of them locked in for Kawhi. And then you had to lock in Kawhi and everybody else to lock in for Kevin Durant. Like, that's literally what you have to do. It was just locking in, for buying lock-ins, buy lock-ins, buy lock-ins, buy lock-ins.
But what do we got now? Right now, we got no budget cards at all. We got, if you want to buy your team, it costs way more. Now we got nothing.
That's all it was.
We got nothing.
That was all it was. But, like, at least when, the Mexico City game, they give us a free one Toscano. We don't even get agenda cards anymore. Like, there's actually no point playing. Like, I actually don't have the correct cables in my computer because I have a brand new PC down here. I have a brand new PC where I am right now, and for some reason, like, I don't understand the logic, but I paid for a really expensive computer. There's only one USB 3 port, and I have that for my camera, so I can't even plug in my freaking Elgato, which is really, really annoying.
That is
It
so
is
troll.
really annoying that I can't plug in the Elgato.
That's looking more troll than what we're seeing as far as the price right now in the auction.
But
Because that's really troll.
Look, it is what it is at the end of the day. And it's not the biggest deal in the world. At the end of, for being honest, this is, it's so hard. It's going to be so hard to go and play this game and really have fun playing this game while the hidden gems concepts are going to be there. Because, look, we know there's nothing good cheap coming out.
And I think that's part of the reason Dr. J is so expensive. He is legitimately the best pink diamond hidden gem card in the game. He is. He's the best hidden gem pink diamond in the game or what. Now he's not. Obviously, he's not hidden gem anymore. But that's the problem. He's going to be the best card receiver 2 months. That's another problem.
Like, 2K gave us the best remaining. The best remaining out of display. What is Caruso? Like, Caruso is literally the only. He's the last one of the freaking, and maybe Corey Brewer. But, and Caruso's not even that good. He's good. He's not that good.
And it makes me wonder, are they just eventually going to scrap the hidden gems if their pack sales don't go up? Or what is 2K's plan? I don't know.
Like, none of these cards are good.
I just don't know what they're playing.
None of these cards are good. He's okay. He stinks.
He stinks. Like we were hyped up him. He stinks. None of these guys, he's tall and plays defense. Marquise Chris. There's not one good hidden gem. I don't think Luis is good though. And there's not like when we look at hidden gem diamonds, like they're front loading. They give us all good ones. So now it's the stage where we know that the good's coming out. So the hidden gem's coming out. Like that's what I'm wondering. Like are they going to go away with the concept, or what is 2K playing? So I'm trying to get when is the right time to really when we're going to come back. And for me, it's when they get rid of hidden gems. And you guys can see it last year. Like maybe Christmas they're going to give us an event. Maybe for the end of us, we're going to get an event. Maybe for Halloween we're going to get a Halloween event. Maybe there'll be a MyTeam festival event. Bro, I remember the Halloween event. Sorry, the words are hard. A few years ago, when there was like timed players in the packs, and I hated it. Oh my gosh, I was so ungrateful for that because now we got something to wait with. MyTeam was Winter Festival, where you could never really get that kind of event, but at least you could get Franz Wagner. Yeah, this wasn't that bad being nobody said. But now we give us a Franz time practice. I wonder what scrub they're going to make as the season 2 level 40. But like, I'm still going to be vaguely involved in MyTeam. I'm still going to be making the occasional video of some bullshit happening in the community. But like, dude, why is there drama every day in the MyTeam community? Literally every day there's drama. Yesterday was the JC account. I'm just going to be making free games. I'm going to be making video essays. DDG and Carlo are going to be making the drama. Make more video essays to make that. I might just make video essays. Kind of as simple as that. I might just make video essays. And that'll be the that'll be it. That seems like it could be it. I might just go and make have a bit of fun and make a video essay. I've been planning to make them for a while. Get the main channel. Get some stuff on the main channel. But like, I don't know. I don't really know what we're going to be here for my team. Like, I'm looking at random after season cards. Like, this card this is actually pretty good. For 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. Like, it actually doesn't matter. Like, and not only this, like the budget cards are super inflated too. So I can't believe this is what we're doing now. I cannot believe it. I mean, I can because the lock-ins are 3 million empty. So I actually do believe it. Like, as sad as it is, I do believe it. Dr. J's better than Sally. Dr. J card. So it is great. Like, it is insane. It is literally insane what this game is coming. It's great. Like, this guy's brilliant. This guy's absolutely brilliant. Look, there's a big bolt. There's a big bolt here. It's brilliant. But 5 million MT. There's never been a card. The only card off the top of my head, like if you could ever argue, that have been worth 5 million MT. So for a card to be worth 5 million MT, there needs to be at least a month left in the legitimate game cycle, which means the card has to come out at the latest the middle of June. So I'm not even putting, I don't even know Invincible Wembanyama in that category, because I still think that Invincible. I don't even know who would be worth 5 million. 5 million is crazy. So off the top of my head, it is Go Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Go Kareem, definitely worth 5 million. And he wasn't even 5 million. That's the funny thing. He was 2 million. He was 2 million, and everybody thought that was crazy, including myself. And it was easier to make MT back then as well. So you got Kareem and maybe Hero Manuko. Look at all like. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That lock-in for Manu was expensive, but I do think he was worth it. Like I genuinely do think he was worth 5 million, 2K22, but he was 5 million. I genuinely think that Manuko was worth it, and he was 5 million. I do think he was worth it. Like I genuinely do think he was worth 5 million, 2K22, but he was 5 million. I genuinely think that Manuko was worth it, and he was 5 million. After that, he was 200K. We're now looking at 5 million for a good, but like not unplayably good, not like god tier card. Dr. J is a real good shooting. No, here's the thing. Dr. J is probably one of your top 2 cards in the game for sure. Give me one of the top 2 yards in the game a month from now. But he's not game breaking. He's not game breaking. He's going to be a top tier shooting guard for 2 months. He's going to be a real good shooting guard for about another month. And it's 5 million. It's 5 million. 5 million. 5 million. This card's going. Like if you're going to try use. Right, like base some dollar value. If you're going to try do whatever method people use to buy cards, I thought about that the other day. It's like even if like we were still in those times of like when buying MT was a thing, bro, this card still would be ridiculously expensive. So I don't even know. People would say, "Oh, Dr. J's getting price fixed by MT sites or by 2K or by this or that." I don't even know anymore. Like I honestly don't know. It's fucking bullshit, lads. Fucking bullshit. It will come if you want to spend money on VC and sell your players. It's probably $2,000 per card, at least, depending on your backlog. But at least. Unless if you end up getting this card, you can get lucky with him from a in-gem pack. You grind it for that, and you just have too much. Find a new hobby. Not his stats though, like, and I can't even hate because like I locked in MB for like nearly 4 million MT. I got Scotty, I got KT, so like I'm part of the problem, and I play this game a ton. But obviously, again, I'm trying to make a bunch of money on the game too. But it is gotten out of hand, and I genuinely ask myself every day, like, if King of the Court wasn't a thing, would I be playing this game? The prices the way they are, I don't know. I highly doubt it because you either have to spend a bunch of money or spend a bunch of time, and that's a tough position to be in. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe, start doing as.
You know, dude.
It is get your edge, your boy Tyler Hewitt.
I hate that fucking intro so much.
Your stomach. And if this doesn't signal that something needs to be changed, about how much empty it is to get maneuverable, and furthermore, how much money it would cost you guys to get maneuverable. Now, just know that this video is going to make you absolutely sick to your stomach, and if this doesn't signal that something needs to be changed, I don't know what will. Now, I gotta say, through the pink diamonds and galaxy opens, it's not super expensive. You know, you can get all the pink diamonds and galaxy opens for probably like 250,000 MT. So that's not what's super expensive. What's super expensive is when we start talking about KD, when we start talking about when we start talking about Jokic. That is when things get really expensive. And honestly, that's when things start to get sickening in general. Now, just want to start off this video by saying last night I watched Troy Dan fire up his stream, basically saying the stream doesn't end until I get the new. Now, Troy Dan in $400, I think it was $400, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was more. I think he opened about 100 and no, he opened 200, he opened over 200 packs, which basically signals that he spent, I think $500, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, I don't know. He pulled this out, which actually is not that bad, but he opened like 200 packs and pulled one dark matter. So again, just know when you guys do see this less than 2% odds, it's less than 1% actually to pull a dark matter. So again, just keep that in the back of your minds as we go through this and realize how bad pack odds truly are in my team. Now, let's just do the quick math. Okay, Ben Simmons, he's going for 3.4 mil. Okay, again, I'm gonna do the exact math because I want you guys to see how much this is actually going to be. Tim Thomas, we'll see what again. We're going to see what a lot of these cards end for. MJ, I'm just going to go 1.5. I don't know exactly what he's going to go for. Bobo, I guess I'll go 2 mil because again, I don't know exactly what he's going to go for. Jokic, 3 mil. I mean, just off the top, that's what he is. No sugarcoating it, no hiding it. Yao is at least 2 mil. We'll see where he ends. So on the very low side of things, and this is the very low side of things, you're spending 16 mil empty on these cards. On the low side, again, we'll see where these cards end. You're a little bit. But on the very low side of things, you're looking at 16 million.
Study this, study that, study that, study this, study that. Crazy, amazing, spectacular, ooh, awesome,
Just spin this thing when you rhythm shoot, and it'll read the tempo every single time. So we're gonna try it out here. Oh my god, even off a spin move it works, bro. The sensor will always hit. It will always hit. Oh my god, even if I spin back like that, it'll hit. Yeah, this is so cheesy, bro. It's so cheesy. I feel like I'm cheating, bro. Oh my god, so you could just spin the stick when you rhythm shoot, and it'll be in the tempo every single time.
Adults. Fostering positive and frequent connections with our neighbors can profoundly impact our sense of self-worth and purpose. It may appear insignificant to exchange a friendly wave or lend a helping hand to a neighbor, but these small gestures have the power to nurture a strong bond and reinforce the idea that our individual contributions hold value within a community. Unfortunately, however, not all neighborly interactions are positive. Occasionally, you might find yourself dealing with an annoying neighbor. Even rarer, yet undeniably distressing, is a situation where a neighbor embarks on a mission to ridicule, provoke, and harass you. In this video, we discuss such a case. Let's dive in. Vineland is a city in Cumberland County, New Jersey, with a population of 60,780, according to the 2020 U.S. Census. The city was named after the area's fertile soil, ideal for growing grapes and other fruits. One unique aspect of Vineland is its drive-in theater, the Delsey Drive-In, one of the few left in the United States. Notable individuals who were born in or residents of Vineland include the American educator Lael Lane, professional baseball superstar Mike Trout, and, more recently, gaining notoriety, the TikTok personality Zachary Latham. Zachary Latham is a 21-year-old man who gained fame as a social media hero influencer on TikTok and public scrutiny for his off-screen conduct. At the age of 16, Zachary moved into his grandparents' house, nestled on Thornhill Road in Vineland, New Jersey. In social media posts, it suggested his mother is deceased. Zachary was emancipated at 17 years old and enlisted to serve as a private in the New Jersey National Guard. He lived in the home on Thornhill Road with his grandparents and wife, Sarah Latham. Zachary, a speed enthusiast with a penchant for social media, was fond of capturing his daily experiences on video and sharing them online. But there was a less commendable side to him. He had a knack for provoking incidents to get a reaction. He frequently disrupted the peace of his neighborhood by revving his car engine and speeding down local streets. He has many videos on his TikTok account where he shows off his cars and boasts about confrontations with locals.
Yeah.
Zachary was well known to local law enforcement as well. His past included numerous police encounters, and by April 2020, he was facing
Look at this little fucking rat.
charged with simple assault, terroristic threats, and criminal mischief. On TikTok, Zachary portrayed himself as a carefree and rebellious outlaw. This image appeared to boost his popularity and garnered him a following of over 40,000. Online, Zachary wholeheartedly embraced his bad boy persona. He frequently posted videos with captions that purported to express who he was or how he was perceived, such as, always loud, cuts everybody off, revs at the red light, what's the speed limit, and gets hated on for having a nice car. Zachary's practice of roaring down suburban streets filled with playing children and cyclists, at speeds greater than 100 miles per hour was more than just an annoyance, it was a genuine safety concern. 51-year-old Vineland resident William Durham Sr. lived 4 houses away from Zachary, believed it was his responsibility to address the issue. After all, as a seasoned corrections officer, he knew a thing or two about confrontation. William Durham Sr., referred to as Timmy by those close to him, worked for the past 19 years as a senior corrections officer at the Southwood State Prison in Bridgeton, New Jersey. Timmy was a proud graduate of Vineland High School. Prior to his employment as a corrections officer, he and his wife, Catherine, owned and operated a successful carpet cleaning business. Timmy resided on Thornhill Road in a home he shared with his wife and 2 sons. He was described as a family man whose hobbies included home maintenance, restoring old Mustangs, and dirt bike riding. Durham's lived a mere 4 houses away from Zachary and often witnessed his driving habits. Having spent years dealing with hardened criminals, he had no qualms about confronting an 18-year-old. Timmy approached Zachary not long after the teenager moved into his grandparents' house. He witnessed Zachary drive recklessly on Thornhill Road and respectfully asked that he cease. Later that day, Zachary, who was 16 then, personally visited Timmy's home to apologize. But the peace did not last long. Zachary continued to drive erratically, and ultimately he and the Durham family became locked in an ongoing conflict for the next 2 years.
2 years?
As Zachary continued to speed down the streets, neighbors grew increasingly frustrated. On one occasion in April 2020, after allegedly racing down Thornhill Road, Catherine had the chance to confront him. She asked Zachary to slow down while he recorded the exchange.
What are you gonna do, Karen? You okay, Karen? Go ahead, get my tag. Get my tag, Karen. Get my tag, it's okay.
What's that?
All because my car is loud. 3 cop cars.
Shortly after the incident, Zachary posted the video to his TikTok account, and lo and behold, the video went viral. It was viewed 3 million times by TikTok users. Many commenters mocked Catherine, while others suggested he should cut her tires, in her house, and go after her. Seeking to capitalize on the video's viral success, he shared more videos centered around Catherine, even openly mentioning her by full name. To entice his followers, he promised to disclose the Durham's home address should another one of his posts reach 1 million views. According to Durham family attorneys, a few days after the viral incident, Mr. and Mrs. Durham were tending to their yard when Zachary drove by and shouted, "Hey Karen, we went viral." By April 26th, according to a TikTok video posted by Zachary, Durham's home address had been made public. It was unclear by whom. Zachary's videos gained so much attention that others would come to Thornhill Road and speed off loudly outside the Durham's home. In one TikTok post, Zachary wrote, "When people rev at Karen because they saw my TikTok and they call the cops on me." 21-year-old William Durham Jr., upset about his family's
How did
address having
I?
been posted online, confronted Zachary days later. Old William Durham Jr., upset about one TikTok post, Zachary wrote, "When people rev at Karen because they saw my TikTok and they call the cops on me." 21-year-old William Durham Jr., upset about his family's address having been posted online, confronted Zachary days later.
I'm on the call, so you that's it. All right. Yeah.
Zachary recorded the incident and turned it into additional content for his social media account. According to a letter from the Durham family attorneys, several law enforcement officers and a Superior Court judge also live in the neighborhood and were aware of Zachary's behavior. Some had even contacted Vineland police about the ongoing matter. The letter further states that the Durhams had previously called the Vineland Police Department multiple times to complain about Zachary. Still, police allegedly informed them they couldn't file a complaint right away because the courts were closed due to the raging COVID-19 pandemic. Durham family attorneys explained that when the Durhams escalated the matter to Acting Police Chief Pedro Casiano of Vineland on April 29th, they heard a similar response. While Casiano confirmed other complaints about Zachary, the attorneys noted that he was limited in his ability to act because of court closures. In addition, as mentioned in the letter, Casiano agreed to consider discussing possible cyber harassment charges with the prosecutor's office. The family received no subsequent updates. By May 4th, 2020, the Durham family had reached the end of their rope, fed up with Zachary's antics, and disheartened by what they saw as inadequate support from local law enforcement. Yet they had no inkling of the chaos that was about to unfold. May 4th, the Durham's 17-year-old son told his parents that Zachary had swerved his car in an attempt to hit him while he was cycling. Dismayed by a lackluster response by the police in the past, they felt they had little choice but to take matters into their own hands. The Durham family waited for Zachary to drive down Thornhill Road on his way home. They spotted his truck, and he pulled his vehicle out of his driveway to block Zachary's path. Two trucks were nose to nose, creating a tense standoff. Penny was seated in the driver's seat of his truck, while Zachary and Sarah remained inside their vehicle. Zachary's two male friends sat in the bed of his truck. At this point, Catherine confronted Zachary about the alleged swerving incident.
Why am I recording when you came out of the right? You don't remember?
I don't know if sir. You have no microphone? You have no video to find it, I like to do it. My mom can get confused in the way. I am. I didn't get you though, man. She said you did.
You're 18, come on. Yeah, I'm just no. Yeah, I'm just saying, oh, did you hit me? Did you hit me?
According to prosecutors, video footage captures a severe escalation of their dispute. Zachary allegedly throwing an elbow at Catherine, pushing her back and knocking the phone from her hand. Investigators claim she sustained a black eye as a result. Following the incident, Zachary raced away with his two friends still in the bed of his truck. The confrontation did not end there. Not long after Zachary, Sarah, and his friends got home, Jimmy, Catherine, and their two sons turned up on the property. Zachary's wife, Sarah, recorded what happened next.
I promise you, you better back up because you're not gonna like
Oh, boy.
I never heard of the first one. People who actually do that wrap the food up in tinfoil and cook it. You said people do it for casseroles and what else? No. You said, I'm done with this bitch.
Baked potatoes or shrimp. Hey Siri, start a 21-minute timer.
Catherine and their two sons turned up on the property. Zachary's wife, Sarah, recorded what happened next.
21 minutes. I promise you, you better back up because you're not gonna like me out. I promise you. Get up from the property.
Crazy
Shortly after the clash, Zachary placed a call to 911.
Emergency. There's blood all over the place. I just got assaulted and jumped. Are you the one that got stabbed? No, that was the other victim, but I got beat up really bad and there was blood all over me. Alright, so you're 2986 Thornhill as well? Yes. Alright. Do you want an ambulance? I don't know. Sorry, the person or people who did this to you, are they still there? They came with drugs, came on my property with guns, and then when I fought them off, they drove away. How are you injured, sir? My windpipe was cut in and I got stuck off and choked by like 10 people. Where are you bleeding from? I don't know, there's blood all over me. I'm leaving open cut. There's blood all over after eyes. Okay. They came in and took their guns and they were going to kill us, and they came in my garage and attacked all of us. There was 4 people. Hold on 1 second for the police, okay?
In the aftermath of the incident, Timmy was transported by ambulance to a local hospital. He was pronounced dead at 9:19 p.m. Zachary was treated for a concussion and brought to the Vineland Police Department for questioning, where he learned of Timmy's passing.
You're getting charged. Presenting good manslaughter. Aggravated assault. Possession of weapon for wrongful purpose. Aggravated assault. Attempted or serious bodily injury. And unlawful possession of weapon.
Of what?
Realize what that means? And it's a chain of evidence that your actions, everybody's actions cause dividend there. Your actions cause that there. Easy. Easy enough. What? Yeah. No. That's your manslaughter. Survival with that. No. Breathe. You're a man. Good. And then shit out the way back. Alright. I have no idea what you're feeling. I don't remember the
Please, finally over. Holiday scratches from the Arizona lottery here. Playing kids today.
Following the interview, Zachary was arrested and charged with first-degree aggravated manslaughter, 2 second-degree counts of aggravated assault, and various weapons.
Get the fuck out of here,
Despite the
bitch.
strong objections of the prosecutors and the grieving Durham family, Zachary was granted pretrial release that same month. He also received permission to move to Florida pending trial. He eventually found work as a car salesman at an Infiniti car dealership in Fort Myers. Meanwhile, the Durham family members did not escape charges for their roles in the deadly altercation. Cumberland County prosecutor charged Catherine with criminal trespass and simple assault. 2 sons were charged with criminal trespass and aggravated assault. None of the Durham family members were held in custody. The trial of New Jersey versus Zachary Latham would begin in March of 2023.
Guardsman accused of killing his neighbor in New Jersey to become famous on TikTok is now spending time in
What?
county jail. Thank you for counting on NBC2. I'm Peter Bush.
And I'm Kelly Burns. Florida Highway Patrol arrested Zachary Latham this weekend. The teen is already awaiting trial for tasing and stabbing this correctional officer back in May.
Following his pretrial release in New Jersey, Zachary relocated to Florida. However, his legal troubles followed him. He was arrested once more, this time in Fort Myers. Allegedly threatened another motorist with a BB gun fashioned to look like an AK-47 while out on release. His latest charges include felony aggravated assault for allegedly brandishing a weapon, a second count of aggravated assault for attempting to intentionally ram the other driver's vehicle. Zachary was released from Lee County Jail after posting a $40,000 bond. This incident led to his conditional New Jersey release being revoked. Zachary was returned to New Jersey 4 months later and held in custody pending trial. As reported by NJ.com, before the Zachary Latham trial commenced, Judge Kristen D'Arigo ruled that he would consider all evidence of social media interactions between Zachary and the Durhams before May 4th and evidence of Zachary's alleged past misbehavior inadmissible. Typically, this is because, from a legal perspective, such evidence could potentially prejudice the jury, thereby hampering the fair trial rights of a defendant with a criminal history. Fundamental principle here is that a defendant should be judged based on the merits of the current case, not vilified due to their past misconduct or any assumptions about their propensity to commit crimes. On March 30th, 2023, jury heard opening statements in the trial of New Jersey versus Zachary Latham.
We expected the defense to try to push the blame on the jurors, and that he will be for a fight. But we're going to ask you to look closely at the videos. We're going to ask you to watch the defendant's face. We're going to ask you to watch their actions. We agree. The Durhams went down to the defendant's home. Yes, they did. They intended to confront the defendant. Yes. But the defendant escalated that confrontation inappropriately with the use of deadly force. He sought to use a deadly weapon. He had that knife ready and waiting for the Durhams to arrive. And you're going to see through the evidence that's anticipated that the defendant did not honestly or reasonably believe that deadly force was necessary. But the defendant could have retreated inside his home, including his garage, and he did it in complete safety. And therefore, it fails to justify the use of deadly force against someone deadly. Now, at the end of this trial, the judge is going to explain the charges and the elements that comprise each and every one of those charges. He's going to explain to you what the law is. And until that time, we're going to ask you that you look at the defendant's conduct. You look at his trial if that conduct was reckless, and if that reckless conduct caused dangerous death. We're going to ask you to look at the defendant's choices. When and where did he make them? When did he decide to get the knife? Now, we don't sit here and think back to living ourselves after our mistake. Maybe we've done something we shouldn't have. Maybe we're in a place we weren't meant to be. But being reckless in a legal sense is nothing. A person who causes another step does so recklessly when he is aware of and consciously disregards a substantial and unjustifiable risk that a death will result from his conduct. I'm going to ask you to think, what would a reasonable person do? Would a reasonable person have entered their home, grabbed a knife, left their home, and come and meet a Durham in a situation that is already hostile? Or would a reasonable person have gone into their home, shut the door, and called the police? Now, this is an all sense of the tragic situation, and I understand the difficulty that you're going to face as this trial continues. There's going to be a young man sitting in front of you, but I'm going to ask you to remember he's not physically. I'm going to ask you to remember that Tim Durham did it here. Tiffany Durham no longer has a husband, and Billy engaged have to grow up without a father. And at the end of this trial, police and state are going to ask you to find justice for Tim. We're going to ask you to find the defendant's actions were not justified in causing his death. And we're going to ask you to find the defendant guilty.
They brought the fight to him. They were on a mission to get him. They were going to stop at nothing to get at him. Understand this. Zachary Latham sits here today only because he refused to submit to a savage beating at the hands of three big, capable men who collectively outweighed him by well over 300 pounds. I'm talking about William Durham Sr., his then 21-year-old son, William Durham Jr., and his then 17-year-old son, Gage Durham. I didn't even include their mom, Catherine Durham, in the arithmetic, but she was very much a part of the attack as well.
Yeah, let's say, shut the fuck up.
These men and women were highly motivated.
Highly motivated.
They acted in an uncontrolled manner. They trespassed upon Jack's property. They ignored repeated warnings to withdraw. You're going to hear video evidence. All of that was captured on video. You're going to hear repeated warnings. You're going to hear Zach and his wife, Sarah, repeatedly admonish these people to back up, quote, back up, back up, get off the property, get off the property. All these admonishments are ignored by the Durhams and they continue on with their attack. Even moments before Zach was attacked, he was standing at the entrance to his garage, which the judge is going to instruct you later is part of the house or the dwelling. Those are legal words. So you're going to hear that this is his castle. We'll talk a little bit more about that concept later. The judge will talk to you about it as well. But he's in his home. He has no duty to retreat in his home. There's no duty to retreat in the face of an attack in your own home. He doesn't have to give any explanation why he didn't retreat or anything of the sort. So please understand that right from the beginning.
By the time I got to examine him, he only had 50 milliliters, about a half a cup of blood left.
You sound a little surprised by that. Why were you surprised by that? By there only being 50 milliliters?
Because you know that a person's not going to die from just a half a cup of blood loss. And, you know, from experience, you know that there was bloody clothing. I know that I had the information before I did the case of what happened. I was told there was blood, and I know that at some point in time he had a lot more blood in his left pleural cavity.
How were you able to determine that there was more blood in the left pleural cavity than what was present?
Like I just said, between the bloody clothing, description of the scene from, I think, law enforcement who was there, and I just knew there was more blood than this 50 milliliters at the time of the autopsy.
Would the chest tube also have assisted in the drainage of any blood that would have been in the chest cavity?
That's correct.
Had you seen this document before today? I wouldn't surprise you learning that your criminal charges were dismissed.
Very surprised.
So sitting here today, did you know prior to coming in to testify the status of your criminal charges?
Very surprised.
Throughout the trial, the prosecution attempted to prove that Zachary provoked the fatal fight and recorded it for social media fame. He argued that Zachary incited the confrontation when he struck Catherine and lured her husband to his home, where Zachary retrieved his weapons. In addition, prosecutors contended New Jersey law requires the defendant has a duty to retreat first when outside the home. Zachary had sufficient time to retreat into his house and call the police once the Durhams arrived. Further, they declared the fact that he did not retreat made his subsequent use of force reasonable. The defense maintained Zachary acted in self-defense and feared for himself, his wife, and friends when the Derms trespassed onto his property. Attorney Christine Long stated, "You don't have to wait for someone to storm your house to defend yourself. You're allowed to prevent someone from attempting to come into your dwelling. According to New Jersey self-defense law, a person has a duty to retreat first when outside their own home. However, a person has the right to employ force to defend their home. To exercise this right, a person must not be the initial aggressor and must be unable to escape by way of complete safety. Under these conditions, use of deadly force rules apply. A person must genuinely believe that the force is necessary to thwart a crime being committed by the aggressor on their property. Before resorting to force, defendant is typically required to ask the aggressor to cease their actions. However, as with numerous legal matters, it's important to remember that rare exceptions exist to the general rule. After a 2-week trial, it would be up to the jury to determine Zachary Latham's fate. The central question before the jury would be, was the defendant justified in using deadly force? After hearing closing arguments and jury instructions, the jury began their deliberations.
Indictment charging that the defendant on or about the fourth day of May 2001 in the city of Iron, Cumberland, Massachusetts, in which the jurisdiction of this court did recklessly cause the death of William C. Burns Sr., contrary to the provisions of NJSA 2C11 4B1 and against the peace of this state, the government, and dignity of this union.
Not guilty.
How do you find on the count of the indictment of charging the defendant that on or about the fourth day of May 2020 in the city of Violin, county of Cumberland, Massachusetts, and within the jurisdiction of this court, did purposely, knowingly, or under circumstances manifested extreme indifference to human life, recklessly attempt to cause serious bodily injury to William C. Burns Jr., contrary to the provisions of NJSA 2C12 1B1 and against the peace of this state, the government, and dignity of the city.
Not guilty. Certainly excused. All right. As I indicated, now, juror number one. No longer full person, now juror number one. The verdict you just reported, is that your individual verdict? Yes. Juror number two, same question. Yes. Juror number three.
At the conclusion of the trial, Judge D'Arrigo delivered some poignant remarks. Mr. Latham, you were successful in your defense, but you still have to live with the events of those days and the consequences of it. There's little solace, I know, for the members of the family. This is our judicial system, and this is how it works. There are no winners. It's all losers. But this is a good judicial system, and this is the way it's supposed to work. Zachary Latham still faces charges in Florida related to a January 2021 arrest. The trial date has not been determined.
The judge is a fucking idiot.
How did the beef between you and Casanova start? I think Cass, remember me and Cass